job, Jacob.
You did a good job, Jacob.
That R roll was on point, my boy.
I had to make sure I thought I was going to mess up some point. I was ready, so I was ready.
Alright, welcome back to the Sixth Grade Podcast. Episode 17.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about Avengers
Endgame.
And
We
that-
synced it, we sought it, and we hurt
it. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Shut up. It's only Avengers, baby. And spoilers.
Some major spoilers, my
We're
guys.
gonna talk the whole movie.
Yep.
The whole movie.
Beginning to end.
And
So if you ain't synced it, you shouldn't have clicked this.
go watch the movie.
Please.
Make another billion.
Yeah.
Give it to the mouse. What the
Yeah.
hell? You guys got a message from the mouse?
Oh, okay. Guys, please make sure to watch and support my franchise.
You heard what the mouse said?
Yeah.
You better go watch this movie.
Or else.
Oh boy, or else.
That's a whip right there, boy.
Let's introduce ourselves before we start. On the mic is Kevin,
Jacob.
You got Lamp.
Clear.
and that's it. And Mickey Mouse.
Hey!
See, we still got 5 people. We could do this.
We could.
Alright, so starting off, the beginning of Endgames. Who
Oh.
wants to start this? Who wants to start the beginning?
Well, first off, it's been 11 years
Oh, that long?
Yeah, that one.
of the entire like Marvel franchise, cinematic universe, MCU, and it's been one hell of a ride.
Yeah.
Starting with,
Iron Man.
was that right? I thought it
Yeah.
was Incredible Hulk.
No.
What? What?
Where's my rock? Iron
Alright.
Man, man.
Starting with Iron Man.
Then Incredible Hulk.
Oh, okay. Iron Man, then Incredible Hulk, and then moving all the way down gently to Infinity Wars, where everybody got snap,
Crackle.
pop.
And then Thanos just 2-step. You can do it all by yourself.
Let me see you do it. Hey. Well, we're having a good time. And finally, we reached the conclusion of the Infinity Saga with
Endgame.
Endgame. We're in the Endgame now, y'all. So, the beginning. Who indeed wants to start? Because like the beginning was a bit, you know.
Oh boy.
Like a slow start.
Like a slow start?
Yeah.
Oh man, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in the beginning of Endgames, boy, how can we not? It started right after the last movie.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, and you know, they were all freaking out. Man, it's real. People died.
People
But before
gone.
that, you know, that emotional scene, which I came out of nowhere because I thought, you know, I was waiting for the Marvel thing to start. But you just see Clint Bart, you know, Hawkeye, is training his daughter, like, oh, that's such a nice scene.
And already you
Aw.
felt
And
tears.
you already know, like, oh, damn, son, you gotta make me cry in the first minute
Like, dang,
of the
man.
movie. And it's like they're shooting arrows. And it's all good, baby. Yeah, it's all good. We're getting hot dogs. Yeah, you want ketchup? No, who the hell wants ketchup, man? It's all about mustard. All right. And then, boy, he did a take back. Like,
Huh?
huh? Huh? Wait, where's everybody? Where's everybody? Oh, snap. And then the title just appeared. Oh. Let me tell you, that was some shit they had to start, man.
That was messed up, bro.
Messed up stuff. And then after that, just they continue on the story. People missing, people disappearing. Nobody knows about Ant-Man because he had his own little adventure with his movie. So, yeah, that was pretty much the first part. I'm missing some stuff. So what do you?
Oh yeah. So oh boy.
Oh boy, Jacob.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So it continues off for that point, and then you got they're kind of like trying to plan out how to discover where Thanos is. They aren't going like too far ahead. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you did skip sort of a crucial part where Tony Stark and Nebula are, which honestly, I pretty much I find like really like heartwarming having like Tony Stark being friends with Nebula, like his only friend in like this
up in space
by themselves.
They're playing paper football.
And then Nebula, like I don't know what, but she grew on me so much, and she's like doing the little flick things with the little. It was just so adorable, man. Like she gets frustrated and she doesn't understand how this Earth game works, and then she like slowly getting it, and then Tony's like, I guess I would assume Tony let her win.
Yeah, so
but maybe not.
He was like teaching her like her daughter.
Yeah, like how
no, you shoot it now like, you won.
There like good sportsmanship, and then when she got one, she's like, and you win. Good job.
And she's like saying like.
She's like shaking her hand. It's like, oh my God, Nebula, you're so good now. I mean, character-wise, she grew a long way from Guardians of the Galaxy, being this like soul hunting, wants to kill, wants to be better, wants to serve Thanos, to this sort of lost soul who just wants Thanos defeated and wants her sister back. And now she's like in space with this one stranger that she just met on the battlefield against her father. And now she's just trying to make the best of whatever life they got left.
Yeah.
So then, Iron Man is making like calls to his wife, apologizing, explaining the situation.
Pepper Potts, say, girl, I'm gone. I'm in space. I don't know how to get back.
And it's like really sad. It's heartwarming. It's like, damn, Tony, you've been through a lot of shit, man. You're about to die in space by yourself with some stranger. And he makes his final message. He puts the Iron Man helmet down, hope that it gets through. He takes his final rest, and he gets awakened by a blinding light. Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that over there? Oh, well, here's the woman.
Oh,
Captain.
Captain, my captain.
And there she goes, looking at them, and then she just cuts away to her pretty much bringing the entire ship back down to Earth, where you see War Machine, Captain America,
Black Widow.
I would say Widowmaker, Black Widow, and who was the other one? One last one. Was it Rocket?
Yeah,
Rocket, and Rocket coming through, and then the ship opens up. Tony finally gets some actual air from his home.
He gets hugs by his
bro. Okay, hold on.
Pepper Potts.
Not even before that hug. Like Captain America came up to him, and then this moment when Captain America came up to his long-lasting friend that he had a feud with just movies ago in Civil War, and he hadn't even seen him during Infinity War, and he just sees Tony Stark's lost in space for heavens knows how long. He gives him an embracing hug. And he's like, Tony, you're home. And when I was looking at them, I was like, bro, you guys gotta kiss, my guy. I'm not one for fanfic, but that was the perfect time for them to kiss.
Is that your yaoi moment?
I would have, yes. I'm not like this usually. I'm never like this. But when I saw that, I was just like, y'all gotta kiss.
Okay.
11 years and it's all kissing. Boy.
Okay.
Like, you did not see how close they were together? They were like, Stark, you're back in that shot. That shot was beautiful. It was perfect. All they lips had to do was touch.
Yeah, Naruto Sasuke moment.
I'm telling you, bro, it was... Oh, man. And then Pepper had to come in the way. That's my husband. Like, and?
She had a woman block. Like, come on. Let these guys have their moments, son. Let them get married. We have kids.
That's all I want. It was right there too. Oh man,
that's some fanfic right there.
That was a fanfic, bro. And then afterwards,
getting hot.
Afterwards, they get sent to the clinic. So he gets sent to the clinic to like recover. You see him that he's like really like losing like his body his body's pretty skinny, like he's losing malnourishment and everything. And they come back to the table, and he's losing it because he's upset because he synced everything happened with that vision during Age of Ultron, and he wanted to put the suit of armor around the world, but even that we all knew it wasn't really going to like turn out well because we got Ultron out of that, but we also got Vision out of that, so it was sort of like a yin yang whatever. And all he wanted to do was good. He fought so hard to try to like get this perfect shield for the planets, and it all went to smoke when they fought each other. And now the big enemy comes through when they're split apart, and they had to deal with them by themselves, which caused them to lose. Yeah. And he just wasn't having it. He was upset with Captain America. He was pissed. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He even took out his heart and gave it to him.
He's like, you use this. You see him use that. I'm done.
He collapsed on the floor.
Well, he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm done. Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was a trigger.
Bro,
Spider-Man, I'm done.
That hurt a lot, man. When he was like, Spider-Man, I lost Peter Parker. This man looked up to me, and I lost him because of what we did in the past. And he was not having it. He was mad, blistering fury, knocked out, had to be put in a coma. The rest of the Avengers were just there talking amongst each other about how they're gonna settle things. Captain Marvel comes up with her, talking about before y'all ain't have me, now y'all do, bitch. Where were you? This happened.
Brody's like, hold on, yo, relax. We're all superheroes here.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Like they all did their best. We all saw what they tried to do, what they tried to prevent. They're trying to figure out how to find Thanos to like try to get back the Infinity Stones to like reverse the whole problem. And Nebula is there, like, you don't need to waste your time sending Captain Marvel to fly around planets.
I got you. Man. I know where you at.
I got the GPS, my boy. Turn left on Pluto. Bridge over there.
Pluto, not a planet.
Turn left on Pluto. Light speed. Yeah. Hit on light speed. That's a funny moment too when Rocket turns around like, "Have any one of you guys ever been to space?"
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, "What?" No.
Yeah, because it was Captain America, I keep saying Widowmaker.
That's a different place.
I know
it's a game. That's a video game character.
Said Scarlet Witch. Come on, bro. What is
That's a wrong character too. It's Black Widow.
Black Widow, War Machine, and Captain America have never been to space before. And they were like, space travel? Already? You sure? Alright. Let's blast off. Head to the stars to buy candy bar.
You can't wait for adventure.
Got a glass. They're off to space. They find Thanos' planet that he wants to stay in because he wants to make his own farm or whatever. He wants to go harvest moon on this.
Yep. And that's Thanos harvest moon mission.
He got one arm, one wrinkly arm, one big strong arm.
The only thing he doesn't marry anybody because it's all empty.
Yeah, right.
It's just him farming.
He got no townsfolk to
trade and barter.
To be friends with.
Yeah.
And so Thanos was over here making his homemade chicken noodle soup.
With seasoning?
Putting his Goya seasoning. Goya seasoning. He mixing it up. He picking up with his weak hands. He pulling other stuff with his strong hand.
Take strong hand.
That boy butt naked. Making bread.
Hey, baby boy naked. You want some eggs? Want some eggs? Tyrese is the Avengers. They're like, it's alright. He started licking his fingers.
It's good, y'all want some? Oh man. And then from there,
out of nowhere,
he gets whooped in his house.
Damn, they raided his house, bro. FBI.
FBI.
You hear that music?
Ladies and gentlemen, we found him.
You know my life. Up, get down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we found him. Damn it.
And they just cursed off his head.
And they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, and I was waiting for this moment for like.
But it wasn't. It wasn't
the as I was looking for, but it was more of like an interrogation to like know where the Infinity Stones were. Mm-hmm. So you have War Machine with one arm. You have who?
Yeah, Captain Marvel
with like a chokehold. I guess it was Captain America with the
it was Captain America who had like his leg or something, or was his other arm? I don't remember. Clear, what do you remember?
Do you remember?
Honestly, I don't even remember. So I'm trying to process the movie.
It still hurts in ears.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is. And
no, they just hold them down.
They was holding them down, and then Captain America and Thor were just pretty much interrogating him about like where the Infinity Stones were.
No, like they first cut off his arm. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. To make sure he didn't snap again.
They like ka-chop.
Because I'm not chopping board. And so we cut off his arm. Yep. And then
they're like, "Where's the stones?" I destroyed them. Come on, shit.
You fucked now. How you gonna get them back?
He was like, "I had to destroy the stones with the stones." I'm like, "Huh?"
Oh, you like that? Check out the hat.
And it nearly killed me. I'm like,
"Oh, bro,
purple motherfucker."
You thought you had something, huh?
I got you, bitch.
He's like a Scooby-Doo villain that got away with it.
Yeah,
they come back to rebuild him like, I got you, bitch. It's too late.
Man, get that purple Grover out of here.
Purple Grover? Oh, man.
You thought you had a chance, huh? You thought, no.
And then after interrogating Thanos, there was nothing else they could do. Mm-hmm. Like, there's literally nothing you could do. So then Thor said,
well,
just Grim Reaper his ass.
Well, before that, he's like, "Oh, Nebula, you're such a great daughter. I hope I treated you well."
Because, they thought he was lying.
Yeah. Because he's pretty much like, "Well, I did it, y'all. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?"
What more can you expect?
Yeah, they say that, he's lying. He ain't destroyed them. Like, no, my fault is everything. But he ain't a liar.
Oh, my daughter,
you know me so well. Swank. They go to his head. And Thor just left.
Thor just left like, fuck, bro. I can't. I fly all this way.
Just for that.
Just for nothing.
Mm-hmm. And that was...
We still lost.
Yeah, and that's it. They still lost. With that entire first part out of the way, how'd y'all feel? I want to start with Clea since she wasn't talking as much. So from the beginning, just tell us everything that you liked, did not like, found confusing.
That part, all the way to that part where Thanos' guy's head got cut.
We got clean.
Oh man, like when I first started watching like the beginning with the Hawkeye teaching his daughter, I was like, oh, what a nice moment, and then clink. What? Wow, this movie is ruthless.
They ain't holding nothing back.
I was like, wow, they didn't hold back at all. They just, went for the kill.
Yeah.
For the first 5 minutes. Trying to tell the audience, we mean business. This is Endgame now.
It's funny.
We ain't fucking around,
I think that's like, oh, let me answer your question for a minute. Continue, Clea.
Oh man, but I mean, I did like the moment with Nebula and Tony Stark because I felt like it kind of humanized her a little bit. Mm-hmm. It kind of took her away from all the, Lamp agrees with me. Kind of took her away, kind of separated her from like the very ruthless and aggressive person that she was shown as in the movie, and kind of like, set
humanize her, make a real character.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about that little moment. It was adorable.
It really was.
No, it's just some character development.
Mm-hmm. I want a Nebula pop now. I want some. Just adorable.
You want Endgame Nebula pop, or you want pre?
No, Endgame. Fuck the pre one.
We'll talk about.
We'll talk about that one later.
I also like the part when Rocket put his hand on Nebula, or was it Nebula put?
Such a tender moment.
Yes, I forgot about that. Oh my god, my heart.
I loved that moment too because it kind of humanized Rocket even more because he was also a very aggressive trash panda.
Damn.
Wow.
But like you have that moment, he's like, yeah, we lost people. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
I mean, to a point, it's like Nebula's like part of his family too, since they sort of like made it up together after the whole fight against what was his name? Ego.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So-
first when they were in the planet together stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Basically, she in the Guardians of the Galaxy sense, she's all he has left. And
Yeah.
everybody else is gone. So it's like, you know what? You're my only family now.
We were.
Yeah, it's kind of like she's blue. Reminds him of Yondu.
Why you gotta do that for? We already have too much deaths, alright? You gonna need no more?
Let's not die in the last movie, alright? Ain't time for that, alright, boys? We gotta talk about these Endgame.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, we say that for that. Oh man, that's a whole nother movie. Let's continue on this one. That it's kind of rad that you see Rocket, a very graphical character, a CGI character. I mean, and to give him so much emotional weight for a character who all he does was talk shit to 2 movies now, to now be like, oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh, like, damn,
Yeah,
man.
that
Academy
is wild.
Award-winning Rocket Raccoon right there. Jeez.
I'll tell you one thing. Thanos' death was actually not as satisfying as I thought it would be because he already did damage.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, oh, okay.
I mean, that was the point. Because they were ready. They're like, yeah, we're going to space. We deboing, defeat this
We
guy.
gonna debo this man.
Debo this man. Throw that rock. They throw that rock, and it wasn't like, yeah, you got knocked the fuck that. No, it was like, damn, you still took our chain. You got Thor running back left. Oh man.
Yeah, it really wasn't, and like I guess what like you guys said, like it wasn't satisfying at all because like when Captain Marvel went back into the planet, right? And they were parked outside the planet, like, all right, we're going into this Walmart from Thanos. She goes in, she comes out, she's like, this man got nothing. He ain't got no army. He ain't got nothing. He just got a farming himself. Which like, is it a trap? We still going in, yo? I don't know.
Let's go in.
Let's go in. They just elbow his ass. Okay.
Like we going into his hood?
Go to his farm. Fuck with his animals. How you like that animal? Motherfucker.
No matter, you lost.
And yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, we still lost. Anything else, Cleo?
I didn't like it when he's like, "Oh, Nebula, you're such a good daughter." Oh, now you wanna say that after like trying to tear her apart?
Right.
I don't understand. Now you want to be somebody's daddy after all this?
No, after he sacrificed the first
After you
one,
beat
alright?
your first daughter and fucking modified your second. Come on, bro.
And then after your other kids were killed, you're already like, I want some peace before I die.
Get out of here, bro.
man.
Fuck you, Thanos. Barney looking motherfucker.
And so moving on to.
What about Jake?
Oh yeah. I can tell you for sure that I was not satisfied with his death because I mean it was pretty much too easy. Of course,
he didn't put up no fight at all.
It's like, hey man, I'm just here. Do it. He just literally I don't have any fight in me. Just go ahead, bro. Just go ahead. You know, you interrupted me when I was trying to make some food, but it's all good. It's all good in the hood, bro. You enter my hood in the neck of the woods.
Alright,
Okay. But yeah, like it didn't feel right to me because I know they had to do that because of course they want to get their gratification for all that happened, but they didn't like leave. They just left with an empty feeling. And then like Captain Marvel, man, she just felt too arrogant this time around.
Yeah, she really did.
It's like,
I still like her, but he's right.
You know, Captain Marvel, man, it's like I started watching her movie. Didn't even finish that thing. So I went in with this, like, not knowing too much about this character, and just seeing how her personality is, and didn't really like her I didn't like her at all. Like,
I guess Well, I'm sorry, Jacob. I guess like what I didn't like the most was because like with all the other characters, they at least lived in that world, and they sort of know like where like who each other are. Like for example, Doctor Strange, even though he never interacted with Tony Stark, he knows about Tony. He knows about Bruce Banner. He knows about like the majority of the Avengers. Vice versa with Spider-Man. Vice versa with Iron Man. They sort of know that they exist, but they don't really talk to each other like that. And with Captain Marvel, she's just like this complete outsider. Like even though she was raised on Earth and lost her memories outside, only for her to come back as a superpowered woman, and she really didn't like really stay and interact with the others. So she didn't really have that sort of chemistry with them, like we were so used to like with the Guardians or.
Like I previously mentioned before, like the arrogance, I thought it was because she grew up with the Kree, and the Kree are proud people, right?
Yeah.
So I figured, she kind of she's having a hard time shaking that part of her personality off.
Yeah, she just pretty much like soaks it all in. Like, yeah, we're Kree, we top shit. That's right. Can't touch me, Nick.
That's all right. You're good.
Tigger.
We'll keep that in.
Oh, we're the poo.
That's all right. You're allowed to say it.
Oh, ew.
Oh,
Another Disney property. Thanos was Winnie the Pooh when they found him. That's.
He was just enjoying his pot of honey.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob, it's the Avengers again. Oh.
Would you care for some honey?
No! Chop, chop.
Man, Piglet just got the axe.
The nigga's Thor. That's a... Christopher Robin is Captain America.
Where's the Infinity Stones, Pooh? Please tell us.
You want to know? Oh.
You got Tigger.
We want Owl back, Pooh. Bring back Gru.
Bring back Eeyore.
We knew what he was like, but not like this. Not like this.
That's
You don't want to be like him, per se.
Oh my God. We are off track.
We're off track. Let's go.
We're making something completely different.
Let's go back. This is too perfect.
Alright,
Alright, so let's move on.
to Endgame.
To
Kevin,
Endgame.
what about the beginning? How do you feel about it? Anything bad?
Everything we just said, man, it's just like that. I mean, with Captain Marvel, we'll talk about her later, but I felt like this wasn't really like a very strong movie for her. It's one of the other five, so I don't know. Let's continue and we'll talk more. So, as the story continues,
So,
they were like, "Damn, son, we didn't win." And in 5 years,
bro. Okay, before we continue, how did that hit y'all? Like when you saw,
to be honest with you, when that hit me, I didn't feel any feels because it's like I kind of expect, like they're gonna go in there, they're not gonna find nothing, but what caught me off guard is when fucking guy his head cut off.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was like,
I was like, damn!
This is a Disney movie.
it's a Bambi.
Damn! And they didn't shy away. They showed the head.
Yeah.
Like the
And
only
that
thing
blood.
they didn't show is the blood, but like they just cut his head. I'm like, damn. And then I was like, well, I guess what happens now? And then 5 years. I was like, damn. Okay, let's see how this story goes.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't hit me right away. What hit me was later on in the movie.
Oh, okay. What about you, Jacob?
Oh yeah, it kind of got me off guard because like after that I was like, okay, what a great way to do a transition. It was like, dang, we see Nebula closing her father's eye, after his head got cut off. I'm like, okay.
All right, some human moments, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you get to like her a little bit more, like you guys already expressed. But it just kind of sucks. It's like, man, what now? And then
They give you the backhand.
it was like, okay, we got 3 hours here. Okay, what's gonna happen?
This was 5 minutes.
Bro.
Right?
Oh, this was 10 minutes of the movie. 10 or 5 minutes of the
Probably
movie.
20.
Oh, man.
Or
Probably
15,
close to
I don't know.
Nah,
Somewhere around
no.
that time. It's like 20 minutes of the movie. Main villain's dead.
Okay.
Okay, are we gonna go like... Do we leave?
That's when you go to like you do like the thing like for YouTube like
Yeah.
and you look up and to
Check
see
the
the
mouse to see how much watch time you got left.
It's like, okay.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, click, boom, head off. Yo, is the movie done?
Are we done?
What?
It's
What's gonna happen in the rest of the 2 hour and like 15 minutes?
we got left in the damn screen. I paid good money for this.
Right? I don't want it to be wasted.
And they hit you. What? Like how did like it sort of did like a slow transition in. So it was like how was it like? Was it like did they say 5 years later? Or
it will
was
say
like,
5
Years.
years
what?
later. What?
Huh? I was like 5 years ago. Or something. I don't know why. I thought it was 5 years ago.
You're expecting
I was
like maybe a prequel.
Yeah, at
pre-part,
least something
yeah.
like something like beforehand to see like if they could put something back together. I was not expecting 5 years later.
5 years later.
Cause like I'm like 5 years later.
Yeah, that's a huge jump.
Like did they not do shit 5 years? We still lost, y'all. I'm like, oh my lord, my babies are dead forever.
5 years later, everybody's like, "Hey, what's up?
Yeah, but
This
it's still
is
it's
Captain
still
America. I want you all to like find forgiveness and and just move on, like I will
not.
not
Because I can't.
because I can't."
But you know he tries.
Yeah,
He
sure.
did.
Yeah, he tried.
He did his best to like try to move on. He got like a little. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like seeing the wide shots of like this, like the big city. Like you've seen big cities in like lots of movies.
Yeah.
And like how they have wide shots, and even though you don't see the people, you know it's full.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they shot it, and the way they had like no music at all, it made it feel so empty. It's like, yo, bro, this is New York, and there ain't nobody in the streets. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
And it felt so empty. It felt my heart when I saw that shot. I was like, damn, nobody here for real. You got like walk on the neighbor's door, knock on his door, ask for sugar. Nobody answers.
You know what it felt like to me? It felt like a Kingdom Hearts game. Because there's no NPC.
It's just an empty world, man.
Bah, bah. Shots fired.
Oh, and One Piece World Secret.
Oh, damn.
That hurts everybody.
Damn. Thanos got there too. He got them NPCs.
But man, but it was
no.
like the start of like 5 years later, empty cities all across the world, and then you see Captain America talking to people like, well, this thing happened. We gotta be positive about it. He talked to one of the guys who's one of the directors of the movie who made a cameo for himself. The one with the glasses talking about he met somebody and how, but even though he met somebody, it still isn't like.
Yeah, because like even though they're like together, like there's nothing that could like
they couldn't
make
talk
them
about.
forget.
Yeah.
They can't forget.
They
It's
can't
something
forget.
used to be there,
Yeah.
and now it's not. It's like you can't just forget about that.
And
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I thought when I saw him on screen? I thought he was the Verizon guy who turned to Sprint. I was like, what? What are you doing here, bro? Trying to sell his phones?
before that, they had a scene with him shaving off his beard, like, oh man, Gillette commercial right there.
Advertisement, we didn't even see it. I'll be damned. Good work, Mouse. Good work. Leah, how'd you feel?
Oh man, when I saw that 5-year jump, I was like, so what do they do? Like, what? It's been 5 years, so what happened? Because 5 years is a lot. I mean, it's bad enough that it's like, 9 months? 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a jump. And like, the worst part is, it hit me as to how many people really died is when, like you said, they started showing like the streets and like the stadiums and everything was empty. And then, it started showing like the neighborhoods and there was trash everywhere, it was abandoned. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
we actually lost, man.
When
Damn.
Captain America goes back to Avengers Tower, not Avengers Tower, the Avengers headquarters, and he talks to Black Widow, and he's like, "Hey, the sea looks clear. You know, there's not too many boats because there's not too many people." And like, that's a terrible joke, right? My friend.
Good try, though.
Good try trying to make everybody happy.
Oh,
and
well, a little bit before that, because actually I want to ask you because you sort of remembered, but before Captain America came into the office to talk to Black Widow, Black Widow was in a sort of
a little meeting
with Captain Marvel, Rocket,
Nebula.
who?
I think it's Okoye.
Okoye. With Okoye, Black Marvel and
then
War Machine.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like how the other planets are, how they're doing, how they're surviving, how they could help them.
Yeah.
And you said something about in Atlanta. What
They mentioned something about like an earthquake in the water, right? Remember that? I was like reading some theories online. Something interesting that could be like Atlantis, where Namor could probably be. Like like little hints that supposedly they threw in. I mean, I don't know if it's true. This is just like theories from people.
Namor, the Samara.
Yeah.
Right up here.
So,
I guess. I mean, it's a realm of possibility since this is the, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but this is the end of this whole the original cast of Marvel characters.
Yep.
So. That's a good theory.
Time for some new faces.
But it's funny when in that scene, Rocket, it's pretty cool. They put some comic book stuff in it when Rocket's like looks to Captain Marvel's like, "What are you gonna do now? Change hairstyles again?
Get another haircut?
That was hilarious. Oh man.
But yeah. So everyone's going through their own stuff. They're trying to help the other planets.
And then they find Clint.
War Machine.
Clint, that's like
War Machine informs
Black Widow
about
Clint.
what's her name again?
Natasha.
I'll just say Natasha. So War Machine informs Natasha about Quint's
Clint just changing,
killing people. He's just going on a rampage, and he's just a mad lad right now. He's just going around and. She's like, she just want to know his location, I guess, or he want to know
where he is,
like to keep in touch with him, or in some way, I don't know.
And like, nah, it's like, it's alright.
Yeah, he's dangerous, bro. He's crazy, man.
Yeah, he's a killer.
he mad. We ain't invited to the party, but
no worry, he's killing bad people.
Oh, he's killing bad people, but like,
but he's killing.
Yeah, that's it. He's killing. He's supposed to be a hero, and. Like that scene where she's like sitting there like heartbroken about like how things have like just changed drastically. Like she's in you can see that she was in a lot of pain just knowing that her closest friend, her closest family member, is like going out ballistic on everyone, killing people, going mad, and there's nothing she could do about it because you can't just go up to them like, hey, it's gonna be alright, cause it ain't gonna be alright, cause they gone.
Yeah.
We can't bring them back, so I mean that's probably the reason why she didn't want to approach him in the first place.
Yeah, because there's
nothing
nothing you could really tell him like, hey,
to make him stop.
Hey, why don't you stop? Tell me how to get my family. Hold on, give me a minute. We gotta wait. We gotta wait.
Oh
man, and then later on,
sort of like I guess what happens during that scene. I guess I don't know. We finally get to see Master Splinter come through in the back.
Now before that, we said Captain Marvel left. She went back to outer space.
She said they sent Captain Marvel. No, but the thing is that scene happens after Scott gets out.
Yeah, no, it happened during that same scene.
Yeah, but.
And then after that's when Scott is like, "Oh my God, hey, what's up? What's happening?"
Yeah, pretty much. So pretty much like what happened? Well, okay, what's his name?
What?
His name is Scott, right?
Yeah.
Scott what?
Scott Pym.
No, Scott
Scott
Lang.
Lang.
Scott Lang.
Oh yeah,
Lang.
I'm
That's
getting
right.
confused. Son.
So now we're into it. Now enters Scott Lang, who is, I believe, the
Ant-Man.
most pivotal character in Endgame, because
Even though he didn't create the suit.
that is true. But still, like his existence, his presence in Endgame is just what sort of like set everything in motion. Because if it wasn't, because like those 5 years, nothing. But when he comes through, that's when everything starts to change. So Scott Pym, thanks to the help of Master Splinter, whose sons were snapped as well, he goes to the aid of a van. Accidentally, that's the most bullshit. I'm gonna tell you this. Bullshit number one, that a rat touches the top of a fucking car and turns it on.
My theory was
Master Splinter turns on the car.
My theory was better. Remember my theory was at the end of Ant-Man? Remember when they revealed the ant playing the drums while everybody was dying?
Yeah. That would have been better.
That would have been better to turn on the machine.
That would have been better, but no, we got Master Splinter coming out of the sewers with his son Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hold on. Leo.
Donatello. Ronald McDonald.
The Renaissance, all the Renaissance painters.
Y'all got snapped. Master Splinter, cowabunga. It's gone. He's like, I must get my boys back. Fucking fiddles with the goddamn car and just turns on the whatchamacallit.
The machine to turn on the part.
Turns on the freaking machine to
the
bring
particle
back
machine,
to bring back Scott Lang, and then he just appears. And he's like, what the fuck? Why is my car here? What am I doing here? I need help. He does a sign, help, get me out of here. And he gets set free. He's roaming around the city. Everything is different to him. And things are like,
he saw the kid say, hey kid, what happened? The kid looks at like,
just looking at him like
I don't blame him. That's actually a good part. A good scene too, because like him asking the kid what's wrong, and the kid looking back like, what is wrong? My guy, 5 years of my parents gone. Everything is chaos. Nobody's here. It's empty. You're gonna ask me what happened? Bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like,
he just rolled on his way.
He's like, where you been, under a rock?
Exactly. No, I've been in space, my boy. I've been
I'm
somewhere.
in the quantum realm.
I've been in the quantum world though. What, bitch?
I got time for your lies.
So that's interesting. And then like he's seen like all the missing posters and everything. He sees like the giant graveyard of the vanished, or the people the vanished that get those calls, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the vanished people, all the names of
And
everybody
he's like,
that
look
was
at the list of everyone who's been vanished. Like, what the fuck? Cleo, go.
Okay, so I also read some theories somewhere else. I actually didn't catch this, but I think somebody else did. Don't quote me on it, but supposedly there was like a little reference to like an X-Men or something. Like you saw a name of one of the X-Men. I think it was Robert DaCosta or something like that. He's Sunspot. And supposedly his name was shown in one of the graves or something really quickly. Supposedly.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. When you said that, I feel a little tingle. Like, yo, they already put an X-Men in here? Okay.
All about to do that shot. Go by commercial.
It would be like, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
So like he saw his name and then he goes and he's like, "Where's my family?"
Yeah, he's looking
He's
for
only found his name.
Casey. He's like, yo, where's my daughter? Please not her. Anyone but her. He sees me. Everyone but me. Like, what the fuck?
He's like, me? What? I'm alive.
I'm just gonna come back.
It's crazy. And then he goes back and he talks to her like, anybody there?
No, he actually goes back to his daughter.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He goes back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he knocks on the door.
Yeah. Anybody there? And then it comes out. You see this woman. You're like, oh, that's his wife? No, his wife got snapped.
Right.
And you open it like,
this girl?
Yeah.
No,
the wasp. So.
No, it's
Nah, bro.
not 5 years.
5 years, baby. That growth spurt, bro.
What did they put in the food?
Bro, that's crazy. She was like 10, and now she's 13.
15.
15? Bro.
Oh, she grew up, bro. And there she is. He missed 5 years of his daughter's life. And he's just like, what the fuck? And all he got to say was, you grown. I mean, what else can you say about that scene? All you got to feel about that scene. I mean, I thought it was just this warm, like, really nice just to, like, see
Like,
Scott reenact with people. Like, he has no idea how long he's been out. Even though he says 5 hours, But in 5 years, he missed 5 of his. Come on, bro, that's crazy. His head must have been like fucking.
Yeah, I feel you. It was kind of hard to process everything because he just came out and he's like looking at his daughter, all grown up. All grown up.
No.
It's like,
Killing
bro.
that boy.
Killing us for this movie, man.
I'm sorry, bro. I just hear so many things going on, but yeah, it was just kind of a shocker to see her that tall,
Yeah.
that grown up, like face to face with him, and I felt that it was pretty good for him to have somebody in his life that
Yeah.
he knows, compared
Just
to all of this chaos and vanishing mess that he doesn't even know about.
Exactly.
Like, I felt that was pretty heartwarming.
That was a good scene.
It's the only heartwarming thing in that movie.
Really?
Nah, I'm kidding. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think that one's a little bit, not the saddest part.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that
Mhm.
soon.
Uh,
But but after he discovers, he was trapped for 5 hours, but it's 5 years. He goes to find the Avengers. And that's when the moment when he knocks on the door. Hey, yo, guys, I'm outside. What's happening? Hey, you remember
You
me?
guys remember me?
I was at the airport with y'all fighting. Remember that?
Remember
That
that
was
cat?
5 years ago. Where?
Me, Ant-Man, shortstop.
I'm telling you, man. And then that, I don't know, just that scene where he like makes after Captain America comes in, they just like talk it out with Natasha. He like tries to like get them to like they both try to like relax, but they realize that they can't move on because they still remember what happened. They were like the last line of defense.
Except for Captain America, he said he moved on.
But we'll get to that.
Anyway,
right,
continue.
right, Rogers, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right, Roger.
Maybe he was in denial.
Yeah. He
The
was
whole
in
time,
denial.
yeah. Okay. so yeah, they.
And so like they're talking and stuff, whatever, and they're trying to get each other like to calm down or like try to relax a little bit. They can't move on. Only for Scarlet to come in. Hey, let me guys in. They're like, hold up, ain't this dude snapped? All right, bring him in. We gotta see what the fuck's going on. And then cut. Next scene, Scott is like pacing because he all the information had been shared already, but even though the information had been shared, he's still his brain is still like on the gears working because he realizes that, okay, yeah, Thanos, whatever this purple motherfucker was, won this battle that I wasn't there for, snapped his fingers, killed off everyone. 5 years has passed since then, but I've only been there for 5 hours, so obviously there's like a space-time difference between there and here. So yes, I may have not been here to like help y'all out, but this is a crucial moment because at pretty much we could technically go back in time, get the Infinity Stone, or even stop him the proper way to prevent everything from happening. And then they got their gears moving and like, bruv, let's do this. Like,
go back in time.
Let's try to do that. That's the only option we got because they can't move on. They want what was lost to them, and that's the only way they could like move forward. They have to like prevent the.
To move forward, it must go back. Back to the past.
And truth be told, once they talk about time travel, I was like, "Yep, this is the most comic book I have ever felt in a Marvel movie."
Yeah.
With time travel and paradox and nonsense. Yeah, we're finally hit that stage, guys.
What do you
Marvel
mean?
and
The
time-
last couple movies were like that.
No, but it wasn't like
It wasn't noticeable until they do time travel.
Pretty much, it wasn't as big as time because most comic books they always have time travel.
Of course.
Yeah, so like seeing
So,
Marvel actually
it's a good
touch
plot
with time.
point.
Yeah, so seeing Marvel like touch with time and everything is like, yep, we finally hit that comic book stage of where we just like start fucking going back and forth through time. All right, good enough. No, it's time to start it now, right? Endgames, hey. And so, who do we talk to about time travel?
Well,
We cut to Tony Stark.
no, we cut to someone first. Oh, we did. Tony
Yeah,
Stark, my
Tony
bad.
Stark
Yeah.
first. And we meet young Mrs. Stark. Not Arya Stark. That ain't her. There ain't no walkers here.
She hasn't stabbed nobody yet.
She ain't stabbed nobody yet. We meet Tony Stark's daughter. And This is another point that I was also afraid of because
you showed the guy with the kid.
You showed the guy with the kid. So that already was like, ding dong, ding dong. Y'all, this the guy.
Be careful.
Be careful.
That flags.
No, I'll tell you the truth. When I saw him, Tony Stark has a kid, I'm like, oh, okay. I see how it is. All right, let's see how this movie goes.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the ride, y'all.
I'm in it.
Clear.
I'm in it.
I'm like, this dude's not gonna go for the ride because he has a kid. He settled down. He did something he wanted to do for a while. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Not even for the vine.
Not even. That got disintegrated too.
They were like, hey man, time travel. What? like Back in the Future? Yeah, you can go Back in the Future, you know, and then like, hello, great paradox. That's not even possible to do.
Bullshit. Man.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you selling me this pipe dream?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel at the same time, he's like, time travel. Oh, that seems. Hold on. Wait a minute. Isn't the same guy I don't like? First of all, time travel is not real. Go away.
Get off my swamp.
Get off my swamp.
But yeah, I mean, in Tony's defense, like, he had a family.
He has a family.
He doesn't want, like, he is stuck on this family, and that's what sort of like sent out that signal, because like this man, he doesn't want anything to happen to him. He already got, like, his happy ending is right there. That's where he ends. So anything that happens afterwards, it shouldn't matter to him. But knowing for the fact that that what he heard from Scott about how there's two different time realms, sort of, in that one, during that one time that he's like stuck in there for like 5 hours or whatever, it does sort of turn his gears too. But at the same time, he doesn't want to go back in time to stop everything and lose what he has now, because it might all change.
Yeah. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go in time to change things and then lose everything he gained in the
pretty
process.
Much, because he was pretty much about to die. He got saved, and he's not gonna let her. He's not gonna let her go.
Yeah.
He's not gonna let nothing else go. He doesn't want to let go of his daughter neither.
Mm-hmm.
So all that is just pretty much risky business. He just doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like it's been 5 years, so it's like that one time, that scene where he's like, the daughter comes in, he's like, "Mommy said that to come to save you." He's like, "All right, I'm saved, thank you." And he gets up and said, "You guys could stay for dinner or whatever. I really wish you guys came up for something else and not this, because like he probably haven't seen him in a long time." It's like, damn. Y'all ain't touched with each other on Facebook or nothing, man. I know y'all ain't get that much likes or anything, but still, come on, man.
You didn't even see my family on there? I share it all the time, son.
You see Hawkeye with his family out, and he's just him by himself at the table.
Hey guys, I'm here at the crib with the family. Empty table.
It's like, Tony, you should have did that. I gotta kill more bad people.
I want my family too.
That's
and that's sort of like where
we cut to Mr.
the next person with the galaxy brain, Mr. Banner, or Sir Hulk, Professor Hulk.
Smart Hulk.
How do you guys feel about Professor Hulk, honestly?
He's hilarious.
He is.
He's hilarious, but the thing is like, we weren't expecting Smart Hulk.
No.
All right, we're not expecting Smart Hulk. We're expecting Smash.
Yeah.
We're expecting him.
Shit up, Hulk.
A Hulk that will help fight Thanos. Now Hulk, who's gonna help us solve stuff and be funny, and be like, "Hey, well, this happens."
And dab.
And dab. Yes.
That was so.
She did that.
That was so cringy, bro.
He dabbed.
Bro, and he was like a motivational speaker, like, hey, I relax, I'm nicer now. Hey, kids, want to take a picture? Come take a picture. Oh, you want a picture too? Oh, you want a picture
I know,
too?
right? Like,
I'm like, at this point, I thought Hulk was going to snap, like, you want to take a picture, right? Mm-hmm. No, he's still like, oh, come on, man, you want to, okay, all right. Like, come on.
Bro, I'm not gonna, that, like, Professor Hulk scenes were, like, hilarious. They were funny, but it's just, it sort of robbed me of, sort of like the real last Hulk fight that we probably should have gotten between. At least I wanted him to square up with Thanos at least one last time and show him that he is the Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm. But nope.
But now he got his anime glasses. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Time to duel.
It's a great character, but it sort of did rob me because I remember back during Infinity War, after the movie, everyone saying like, "Oh, Hulk got scared of Thanos after his ass got whooped," and then someone I think they were directors, the Russo brothers, came in saying that Hulk wasn't scared. He was sort of mad for being Banner's the guy that Banner turns to be the hero. He doesn't want to be the hero through Banner's own will, you know, like he wants to do his own thing, sort of like be his own person. And I was over here like thinking, oh, okay, you guys want to go that route? So we should have like a movie or like at least a scene where Banner and Hulk sort of like work things out to like come to an agreement to either be Professor Hulk or to become us being strong enough to like defeat Thanos, right? Mm-hmm. But we sort of skipped all of that, just went straight to him, and it was like
straight to him being like, "Hey guys, look at me! I don't know. Hey, I combined the brains with the bronze."
And it's like it was like a huge missed opportunity, which is like another thing I didn't like about the movie because I really wanted to see one last Hulk huzzah, at least, even if it was like a character development. I don't got it.
But it's still funny though.
It's still funny, yeah. But I would trade that for Bruce Hulk character development any day, honestly. Clea?
I think they did him real dirty. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Banner and I like Hulk, but it's just like everybody said.
Nobody wanted Smart Hulk. If they wanted Smart Hulk, he should have been fighting though.
I just wanted to see how he got up to that point, or maybe he would like just turn into Banner and then they come into an agreement that he turns into the Hulk, or maybe he's talking to himself or going back and forth.
That would have worked too.
I would have preferred to see that. I wanted to see more of him, but no.
I mean, that's one of the rush parts of the movie.
Yeah. I could say that.
He's Smart Hulk. Let's continue.
Yeah, I do feel the same. I just wanted him to get his revenge arc.
Just
set up so that he could go hand in hand with Thanos. But after what happened, it's just, come on, man. He's a funny dude. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to see some combos, bro. Like for real though. Like I don't want him to just make snarky jokes.
Yeah, everybody was suspecting him to press up down B, quarter half circle, Dragon Ball, throw some Hadokens and show you.
We got.
Hey guys, what's going on?
We got Galaxy Brain Hulk.
Drink my little coffee and I'm gonna help you out with this quantum physics thing, even though I don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, explain.
I saw. Oh, sorry, go on.
No. I was just saying something.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's sort of like, if you think about it, he didn't really feel too enthusiastic to like be like. He didn't feel like, hold on, we could redo all this probably. All right, let's.
He was so chillax.
He was so chill about it. He was like, okay, I can help you guys with this probable theory. All right, we could probably bring them back. All right, we could just try this out. It's like, oh, you got bodies, my guy. Let's fix this.
He's like, nah, I'm cool.
Exactly. It's like, come on. It's like dire. I don't know.
He feels out of character.
He really does.
Yeah.
I guess he's trying to move on too. I guess you gotta say that.
I mean, that's a good point. That he moved on. By moving on, he just became just Smart Hulk.
Yeah. So no more smashing and just being smart and just being bulky with it. So
we go to the lab to be like, all right, let's do this.
See what's up. They try it out. They try out they try fiddling with it, and it seems to work, even though it's like you're. It
only turned Ant-Man Scott into like a baby old man.
And everything in between.
The fail fusion.
So they're pretty much like testing out how to like make the time travel work. Meanwhile, Tony Stark, he's in his head thinking about everything that they just told him, and he's just wondering himself, can I don't know, let's give it a try, like sort of like a little project, whatever, nothing too big to like delve deep into. He gives it a shot. He goes around, fiddle with everything here and there. Just like that, he just makes a time machine. And he just like, well, shit, I guess we can go back and fix this.
He's like, oh, damn. No.
Yeah, it's like, and it just sort of like clashes with like his life now, because on one hand, he could bring back everything back the way it was supposed to be, with everyone back alive. Peter Parker is still alive, and he could still probably get his kid, but at the same time, things could go wrong. It could go south way bad. It could be worse than what they have now, and they could all just die. Mm-hmm. So now he has to choose between family now, living in the present, or fixing the past.
Well, that's the whole point. When before he discovered time traveling, you know, he was like washing dishes, and then he pressed some water, and he found a picture of him, Peter Parker. It was like,
I do want you back. You were good. Like, you don't deserve this.
Oh boy, I failed you.
Yeah.
I failed you. I can't be happy with this new life knowing that there's a chance to help you.
Exactly.
You know, so he did it. He finally was like, oh, but damn, no. And the little girl's like, what's happening? He's like, shit happening. Like, what? Yeah, like, that's a funny scene too.
That was a funny scene with him and his daughter. It was really cute too.
And so he goes and talks to Pepper Potts.
And that was a really good scene too.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked that scene because it was like a sort of a like Tony Stark was like in a mix between, like, you know, like fixing keeping his future or fixing the past, and he's willing to like let the past be and just live his life in the moment with his wife and his daughter. And he told Pepper, like, yo, just give me the word, I'm gonna delete it, I'm gonna get rid of it, and we'll just live the rest of our lives happy and rest. And then she's like, I know you, Stark, and knowing that you've actually found a solution, you're not gonna rest. You're gonna toss and turn, you're gonna have that in your head, it's gonna eat you alive. Just do it. There's no point of hiding it. Just do it, because you're a hero. That's what heroes do. Just go on about it.
You saw the solution. Don't fly away from them.
Exactly. So that was a really good moment. I really like that because she knew that things were bigger than just them.
Yeah.
As much as she wanted it to be just them, it just wouldn't feel the same.
Yeah, it doesn't become like those other Iron Man movies where she's like, don't do this. You don't have to do this anymore.
Exactly. Because he just keeps going because that's what he feels like he has to do.
Yeah. Because you kind of sense a greater level of understanding between them two.
Yeah, they really do.
It's like they know each other so well that you have to do this.
Yeah, because you're not gonna rest if you don't.
Yeah, you're gonna be thinking so much about it. You're gonna try to do everything you can to go back to it. I kind of enjoyed that scene also. Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
No, yeah, same thing. Like, she spent her whole time saying, Tony, no, but now she says, Tony, yes. Sorry, I was going to say that. I think she finally realized, you know, this dude's a superhero. He has a duty. Peter Parker, you know, that's on him. Remember in Homecoming, he was like, hey, if something bad happens to you, it's on me. Pretty sure deep down somewhere, he felt the guilt.
Oh, it was eating.
When that picture, take that picture.
It's like, man.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And, well,
and then cut to you know, going back to the Avengers, you know.
Fast and Furious style, boy.
Fast and Furious. Came in real fast. And first we had the taco scene.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was after.
Oh, that's after? I was like, I'm skipping ahead. Whatever. Anyway, we'll skip ahead in this thing.
No, but that was the only scene that I also enjoyed, was when they didn't really make a complete reconcile with each other, like how I wanted. You know, just like, Tony, you're back. Oh,
you
come
want
to
them
my
to kiss
arm.
again?
Not kiss, just like at least hug it out, like at least a mutual understanding that.
But they did.
They
had the handshake.
Yeah, but I don't know. It still didn't feel enough for me in my thirst.
Such a fandom right here. My God.
It's like, please,
more hugs.
more hugs.
Just one more head pat for me.
More talks.
Just a little peck on the lips.
Besitos.
Just that little peck. And everything will be alright.
Everything will be alright.
I'm glad I didn't see next. We didn't see next.
Yeah. You know, I'm kind of glad we didn't do that. Cause
boy, he probably would be hugging us and kissing us.
Cause honestly, next thing you know, Hulk or whatever turns pregnant. It's like, what? and then Lamb would be like, you see, this is what I want. I'll be like, Okay, my boy. I'm
Hold up.
leaving.
No. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Hulk gets pregnant. That's disturbing. That would be like, oh no.
And he doesn't even say Hulk pregnant. No, he's like, oh well, I'm pregnant. Guys. He's not even that excited.
He's not. He's like, whoop, I'm in labor, guys. Ow, it hurts, huh?
It's like, I guess we need to find a father, huh?
Oh, Lord.
Gotta go on Maury.
Oh my lord.
Well, if he's still alive.
That boy got snapped. All right.
In the case of Robbie Downey Jr. I mean Iron Man. In the case of Iron Man, you're not the father.
Crazy offbeat dance.
Crazy offbeat dance, martial arts style.
Oh my god.
Hulk runs in the back like,
Alright, on topic, but
anyway, so
okay,
he Fast and the Furious, he shake the hand.
He shake the hand, and then he gives Captain America back his shield, and they sort of reconcile. They're like, alright, I guess we're doing this for real. Let's go and meet the team and whatever. Let's get this thing ready. Let's get everybody back down. And here's another part that sort of pisses me off. He said, like, we're going to get the Avengers back together, right? Yeah, we're going to get them back together. Sure. We got Rocket and Nebula comes back. War Machine comes back. And everybody else is together. They go out to get Thor and Quint.
Oh yeah,
Hawkeye. Later on. But at the same time, they didn't invite Okuya or Captain Marvel.
Well, Okuya has somebody has to run that Wakanda.
I guess I understand. Okay, I'll let that one slide. And I know that they said that Captain Marvel would be like outside in space doing whatever. But at the very least, they could have been like, "Oh, Captain Marvel's out. We'll wait for her call. Then we could go back in time and start fixing stuff." Because nothing else would happen if they waited any longer. They just wanted to do it now.
Yeah.
But they could wait. They already waited 5 years. Another 5 years wouldn't kill to like wait for another contact with Captain Marvel.
Jesus,
like, hey, Captain Marvel.
Wait, 5 years for this lady? Damn.
I know, but like at least it wouldn't be like that long. At least a year or something. We're like, hey, Captain Marvel, we probably found a breakthrough, man. We could probably go back and like fix everything. You should come through to make sure that shit doesn't happen to us. All right? All right, cool. All right, bye. We'll see you in like another week or two. All right, cool. Bye. She coming, y'all. Then she comes in. You do all that stuff.
Now you get missed calls. She doesn't call you back.
But I kind of like how you're thinking about this, because probably then when she goes back in time, she got some character development with the crew.
At least.
Yeah.
And then that would have been. Oh my god. Oh no.
Preventing from like some mess up things from happening.
And like seeing like her Earth before she was even there, and see how they managed by themselves. And how they were able to like be the hero that they are, and that you have like at least some kind of respect for them for like having them stand for this long. Because, shit, you got anything to say?
Yeah, same thing. Like, too bad I didn't call her up and say, "Hey man, you want to join a journey? You want to go back in time, back to the future, bro?"
It's gonna be fun.
No, we're gonna have a taco moment, all right, which is a great moment with Hulk. Here you go.
like 3 tacos. Goddamn.
He's like, here you go. Sorry for that.
It's like, we know it always happens. I can't prepare. Here you go, Scott.
So yeah.
Oh man.
So from then on, it's just pretty much them coming together, figuring out how to time travel, and how the Pym particle works with his suit. So
but before that, when they went to look for Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's right. They had to go back to Hawkeye. Yeah.
Man, that's all we get.
Yeah, we couldn't have any more things.
Just a mimic of Wolverine when he's fighting all the Japanese dudes. That little one scene, you hear fighting in the building, and boom, window crash. That's it.
Kunais being thrown, swords being drawn.
5 minutes of sword action. You know what's funny? When I think about it, that scene happened so fast that it was like, I forgot what I watched until like they appear in the street, and they're both talking to each other in Japanese. Like, what the fuck did this happen?
Like, I get what you mean. It felt like a different movie.
Yeah, it felt like a different. Like it came out of nowhere, and it like I was like, huh? I guess that was one point in the movie I kind of didn't pay attention, but I watched it. I just don't remember it well because it just happened so fast.
Yeah, but I mean that's Ronan's part right there. That's his introduction as Ronan.
He does his anime thing, one shot, and then put it back.
No, he does the one shot, put in his elbow, or whatever.
Clean it.
He cleans it off, and then he just puts it back. Then Natasha comes in with her umbrella. Stop.
You don't need to do this no more.
I must.
You might as well put it in black and white when it happens.
Make a noir.
Yeah, and you play like a sax.
that sax song from Big Up. You need to stop this. This ain't you. We have a way to get them back.
Solution.
Why did you say that earlier? Oh my god.
It looked pretty cool. Lucky Toast deserves it. Oh man, so yeah, I was on this introduction.
So they came back, they got everybody together.
They got everybody together, and they started brainstorming of like how to get the Infinity Stones back from their different timelines, and they realized that the Infinity Stones sort of existed in the same place at the same time in certain events at the period of time, whatever, and all they gotta do is figure out what time and place to like shoot themselves to, go there, pick them up, get back to the future, use it, get everybody back, and that's it. And you know, from that alone, it sounded like a pretty solid plan. It sounded like a really good plan. Until shit happened, but we'll get to that later. All because of one, I swear, bro. But yeah, everything seemed fine. Like there was no interacting with their past self, or at least attempt not to. There were.
Well, when they did the first attempt, Kurt went.
Yeah.
And walked around and was like, "Yo, my daughter, what's up?"
Got yeeted back in the future. They realized it worked. Like, okay, get ready, y'all. We about to go down.
All right,
so
now let's go with now. Now we transfer to. All right, and then Thor happened.
Oh Christ!
Boy.
Here's this.
How do you feel about Thor? Let me tell you, I quite liked it in the sense that I get the reference. They're doing Big Lebowski Thor. I'm the dude, you know. I'm the dude, man. And like they go in and they're like, let's go find Thor. They went to New Asgard. They found Valkyrie. Valkyrie's like, I don't know. We don't see him. He only comes here when he wants to drink beer. They go in like knock knock. Hey, anybody there? They just break in. And it's just like, hey Thor, what's up? Oh shit! Like, hey guys, what's going on? It's going. Hey, look, my best friends are here. Korg, yo, what's up? They're playing Fortnite.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that one bit when they're like, the guy was like, yo, this gamer is back. I forgot what his name was. Noob Master.
I don't remember.
Noob Master something is back online. Can you take care of him for me? He takes the mic and he starts like,
Noob
like,
Master 114. This is Thor.
This is Thor. You know, the legit Godfather. You better stop this right now before I fly over to your house and fucking throw a lightning bolt at you or whatever. He was like smack talking this guy. He just tossed him back the mic. He's like, thank you. What?
I'm surprised Thor didn't do any Fortnite dances.
I'm happy he didn't. I would have walked out that movie. Like, excuse me. I think I'm done.
Bruh, every single time I saw him off screen with that belly, I couldn't keep it together, bruh. That belly was nasty.
I'll let Clea go first. Go ahead, Clea.
I had like I don't know, for me it was like 50-50 because like the beginning of the movie he was like super serious, so you know, he was just like this, I don't know, he was a really serious guy, and now I feel like he kind of like regressed in character.
No, he didn't regress. The thing is like since he looked since he became fat, Thor, it looked like he regressed in character, but he really didn't. He just became a loser because he couldn't save everybody. He couldn't bring back the missing people that died by Thanos. You know, so he just went like, you know what? I'll just sit here and play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Well, the way I saw it is like, you know, like I said, like the beginning of the series guy, but now I feel like, you know, this is a guy who lost a lot. He lost his brother, who he spent God knows how many movies trying to like get back. His mom, his dad, his sister, his people, everything. So it kind of finally sunk in. He's like, okay, that's it. I give up. So that's the way I kind of saw it. So I kind of liked it in a way, like the way they showed it. But I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. But I don't know. It's like 50-50 for him. Like,
yeah. So what do you think, Lamp?
Oh man, like seeing Thor's journey from the first movie to Infinity War and how he became the true God of Thunder. And it was just like, oh yes, I'm about to get this ass whooping. And yeah, he failed just like everyone else, but everyone else managed to, like, you know, keep it together. And Thor, he just lost it. And character development wise, that makes a lot of sense for a character to, like, you know, grow to such power, loses his first fight where everything pretty much mattered, and then sinking like that, it makes sense. But did he have to be fat? Did he really have to be? I wouldn't even mind if he was just like a shut-in, like he's just like this sulker, like back here, he just doesn't want to talk to nobody. Hulk and Rocket comes in and he's like, get out, whatever.
That's how I expected him to be.
That's how I expected him to be,
I expected him to be like, you know what, even more serious, more distant.
And
you know
pissed.
what, leave me alone. I don't want
Like
to deal with
Ronan.
Thanos. I don't want to go back in time.
Nope.
I have my own little tiny group of people to govern.
Nope.
Go away.
Exactly,
Nope.
but nope. Hey. It's fine.
Yeah, always gotta do it.
Oh man.
You need help in the junkyard.
Yeah, I can help you real quick.
Burn. Get out of here, bro. I'm fine with that. It's just I don't know why he had to be fat. It's sort of this. It distracted me a lot because now, besides being this almighty god of thunder, he's now this side. He's like a comic relief character now.
Because you're expecting the two heavy hitters, Hulk and Thor, to be
Yes.
ready to fight, but then you got smart, unsurprising Thor, and just a very sad Thor.
And it hurts. It hurts a lot. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy his company, but I just wish he was like. I don't really care for him to be fit or anything. I just want him to be like at least a little bit serious. But there's Thor. He's there. The one scene where they're like, yo, we can bring this back. We can find a way to like beat Thanos, and he just like sort of like drops everything. He's like, come up to him about to cry to Hulk, talking about some. Don't say that name again. Like, bitch, what? What you about to cry for, my guy?
Don't say that name here, man.
Like, we don't say that in here, man. We don't say the T word. Toast? Like, come on, bro. And that's sort of like that small motivational speech that Hulk gave him, like, hey, remember when I felt weak and all that? Guess who helped me out, man? It was you. You were the strong one, man. You're the one who got me out that rut. Let me help you out. And it's like, bro, come on. It's Thor, God of Thunder.
It's like Hulk at that moment, he sounded like a yoga guru. Just trying to align your chakras.
He sounded like a yogi. He sounded like he does, like Thor is doing like yoga in the weekends.
Just relax.
Relax, man. Find your core. Find your center. Yeah, like that. All right.
I promise you, man. But I still enjoyed Chungus Thor for the most of the ride. But I don't know, man. Just whatever. We got Thor now, I guess.
We
He
got
puts
Thor.
on his sunglasses. Only come for the beer. And fucking sleeps during the meeting. All right, cool. Whatever.
Now let's go and fix our time.
Pretty much, and now they go.
Recount it. Hey, tell us about the previous movies, all right, guys? Okay, and Thor, not Ragnarok, the second one nobody cares about.
The Dark World.
Oh, Thor Dark World. Well, when this happened, my girlfriend at the time, now she left me.
And that was the depressing. That was funny too. That was the funniest part
At
too.
the time she left me. But it wasn't a stone. It was something that went in her, and but she left me though. Like, damn, man, Jesus.
Are we going deep, bro? This is lore right here.
Oh wow! And I used to say, all right, man, you can sit there. No, I'm not sitting down. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. There's a lot of funny moments in this movie, man.
Like the Nebula talking to my father got that stone, and my sister never came back, and everyone was like. Shit.
Well, shit, nigga.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not going there.
It was funny, like how Black Widow was taking all the notes.
The plot point number, whatever, I don't know, 2, 3, I don't care. Nebula knows how the stone was got.
For the most part, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why is she
Lost in
like,
translation?
Get the fuck out of here. So she's gonna be like, so my dad and sister went to go get the soul stone. My sister didn't come back. So God, there's like the problem here. There's something wrong, guys.
I'm surprised they didn't put 2 and 2 together before they went.
I don't know.
That's the part that bothered me. It's like you couldn't have gone to the point when Vision had the stone, or right before when he had like the soul stone, right? He had the soul stone, right?
I think
He had the
Mind
Mind
Stone.
Was it
Mind
my stone? Okay, never mind. I was like,
The soul stone
stone
was with Red Skull for some reason,
Oh,
or whatever
man.
that.
Well, that's the forgot what the realm was, but that's pretty much the place where you could get it or find it. You know?
A soul for a soul.
Let's go back to where we were.
Yeah.
To them being like, all right, so everybody got their notes.
Everybody know what they're
You're
going?
ready to jump? Let's go. Rocket power.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
But so the march, we've seen it on the trailer before, where everybody had like the new suits, the sort of Ant-Man suit, but with the white tank and the red stripes and whatever. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first saw that, I was like, that looks nasty on you. But knowing that it comes from Iron Man's suit in general, sort of designed around that, and only to feel like everyone so they could like shrink down and go back in time, that shit grew on me, and I want a jacket like that.
That
shit looks cool.
It's an Iron Man Ant-Man suit.
Pretty much, yeah. It looks so good. It's so cool. And it's marching down, everybody coming down looking cool, everybody's ready to like get this mission over with, and from that point of the movie, there was like no threat whatsoever. Mm-hmm. All we knew was that they had to go to the past, make sure they don't fuck up, and come back. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. There was no problems. Thanos was already dead. He can't come back and be like, what y'all doing, guys? Let me go back in time with y'all and fucking fuck shit up. No. Like there was no warning, and I actually appreciate that from a story point of from a storytelling standpoint.
Yeah. That
there is like legit no threat whatsoever.
Yeah, there was
other than
none.
them like sort of like fucking up the timeline
or talking to people
in the past like that. It didn't sort of like, it was sort of a concern, but it wasn't that big that we're like, oh shit, something really bad could go wrong. But so it was like sort of like an ease in to like the mission. So it's like sort of you lower your guard because you know that they're good at what they're doing, and they will succeed regardless.
Yeah, and also when War Machine was saying like, why don't we just go to Baby Thor and
he just bro, that part was funny like,
and then
like,
and they're like, you can't do that because it still happened. The past will still happen. Like, oh well, but like, then they reference all the movies, Hot Top Time Machine, and freaking Back in the Future. Like, those movies aren't real. those aren't true.
Yeah.
Right.
So then they get together. They're about to jump. Everyone knows where they're going. They suit up.
Rocket power 1, 2, 3 again.
Power 1, 2, 3. Press the button and the mission starts.
And then boom, so they split.
They split up into
to
three.
the 3 movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
Those
Dark
are three
World.
movies.
What was it? The Dark
Dark
World,
World, Avengers, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and Endgame because of the Soul Stone.
Well, they were still part of Guardians of the Galaxy because War Machine, Natasha.
Oh, because they went ahead.
They went with them.
They went ahead of time.
But they went,
no, they went with.
Wait,
them.
did they? No, they went. Okay.
We're getting confused now.
No.
This is the.
War Machine, Nebula, Natasha, and Clint. They went to Guardians of the Galaxy where Quill got the Power Stone, right?
Power Stone.
He got the Power Stone there, but the Soul Stone was like everywhere.
Yeah.
In whatever timeline. So from there, they go to get the Soul Stone.
They hyperspace to that.
Yeah, they hyperspace to there. Captain America, Ant-Man, and Iron Man, they went to the Avengers, and Hulk, they went to the Avengers area.
Yeah.
To where they'll get the
Time Stone and the Tesseract.
The Reality Stone.
And one more.
The Space Stone?
Time. Remember,
She said time because that's
Time
what's
Stone,
strange.
Reality Stone.
Reality.
There should be a Space Stone there somewhere. No?
Oh, wait. God damn it. Somebody research this.
But who had it? It was it was the cube. Mm-hmm. It was the that's right because so it was a time, space, and reality. No, reality was the red one, right?
I think so. Was it the red one? I think so, yeah.
Who is your friend?
Because it was the Tesseract, the block cube, the
Mm-hmm.
scepter, Loki's scepter, and it was also the time stone from Doctor Strange from the sorceress.
Yeah.
So, cause Loki, he took the cube when they fucked up. So after
There's
they
another
got
timeline.
Yep.
Because that's the Space Stone. Because they use it to open the portal.
Yeah. Was it the scepter?
No, the scepter he used to control people.
The scepter is the Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone.
Okay, so the scepter is the Mind Stone, the cube is the Space Stone, and the Time Stone was with the sorceress. All right, cool. So they went in. So when they all went back in time, Captain America, Ant-Man, and Iron Man, they're in the Avengers area. So they see the whole event. The Avengers fold off again, and they just go their separate ways. After the whole event with the people dying, with the Thanos armor coming down and being defeated, they see that where they corner Loki, and they did that awesome ass pose where they're all together, and you see Hawkeye with his bow and arrow straight down the camera, straight at the camera. It was so cool, but seeing it in a different perspective. Mm-hmm. And they're all right, time to start the mission. So they're in charge with getting so Iron Man and Ant-Man are in charge with getting the Tesseract. Captain America is in charge of taking the scepter, and Hulk is in charge of taking the Time Stone from the ancient one. So with Iron Man and Ant-Man, they go pretty smoothly. Ant-Man shrinks down, gets flicked on to Tony, goes inside of him, give him a mild heart attack to disable him. They Ant-Man kicks the Tesseract, the suitcase that holds the Tesseract, to Tony so he'll get it. Tony gets it. The future Tony gets it. He gets hit by Hulk because for some reason he wasn't allowed to go down the elevator and have to take the stairs. He got mad. He flung open the door, knocked them out, and opened the suitcase. And Loki saw it, picks it up, takes it, and teleports with it, the Tesseract. And now he's gone. So that is a whole theory in itself of what could possibly happen with that.
You know what I think after that Loki disappearing act? Probably that kind of leads into the TV series for Disney Plus. I don't know.
Loki and Friends?
Because, the Loki we know, he's dead.
Yeah.
The past Loki, they might still clone him into the Disney Plus.
But I think he might live because the snap. We're jumping ahead, but the snap that brought people alive. He'd probably be alive, and that's why Thor is joining the Guardians.
Yeah, but he wasn't snapped. He was killed.
He was
murdered.
strangled to death.
Yeah, but remember, when Hulk, snapped his finger, he snapped the people who killed, everybody that Thanos killed. So it's kind of a general wish, he wished back anybody who was killed by Thanos. Probably.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess we have.
I didn't think about it like that, but.
I mean, we're jumping ahead. Let's get
That's true, but okay. So yeah, they failed to get the Tesseract. Loki takes it, disappears or whatever. They failed their mission. Captain America finds the scepter, in like with the agent with the Hydra agents
Mm-hmm.
who were Shield agents, but as in from Captain America's Winter Soldier, we realized that most of them were Hydra agents. So he goes in. He's like, "I'll take the scepter from y'all. Why? We shouldn't have you shouldn't have the scepter. We'll take it with us." Like, no, I know what I'm doing. He leans in and says, "Hail Hydra."
That's a nice little Easter egg.
It really is. It's a fun one too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one a lot.
So yeah, it is the Mind Stone. The scepter's the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
The Tesseract is the Space Stone.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hail Hydra. And it's funny
Just like in the comics, even though they didn't finish writing it because everybody got mad.
That's funny. So, what I also liked was like when in that elevator scene, it was almost the same, sort of the same scenario in Winter Soldier when Captain America went in and all those soldiers came in, or the Hydra agents came in.
The best scene ever.
Yeah, when they had to like fight Captain America in that small ass elevator. It was like, yo, that bringing back memories,
like,
bro.
Like, I almost thought they were going to do that again.
I know, right?
But nope.
Nope. Instead, we got Captain America versus Captain America.
Mirror match.
Mirror match for real. And it was pretty cool.
And before that, they were watching them towards the end of Avengers, right? And Scott Lang was like, "Oh, that's America's ass." After Tony was like, "Oh man, that costume does not do good for you,"
No.
and he's like, "What are you talking about? That's America's ass."
The great joke.
That's a great joke. And after he beat himself up, he's like, "That is America's ass."
That is America. He had a good stare at his own booty. Like, yeah, that's America's ass, all right. I'm looking firm.
Hey, I mean, at least we got a butt joke. And it was Ant-Man who said it.
Yeah, but no one called up nobody.
First of all, y'all know Ant-Man was a big fanboy for
Oh, he
Captain
really
America.
was.
So they just did some time stuff, and then now Hulk is there. He's like, "Oh, I don't think Smashing's so beneath me now." He's like, "We gotta do it."
Yeah, that pissed me off a lot.
Yeah, it just felt...
It was like, come on, you're Hulk.
You're Hulk, dude.
Smash, man, please.
It felt awkward.
It really did.
It's
He
like-
really had no enthusiasm in
He
it.
was trying to get into character.
Like, what the
It was
hell?
like, what? Come
Boy,
on,
just
man.
get out of here, man.
And then, but then he goes and meets the
Ancient one.
ancient one.
And from there, they sort of explain the timelines and the whole idea
Oh,
of Infinity
boy.
Stone, which hurts our heads a lot because, oh god. All right, so
'Cause that's-
apparently
Yeah.
the Infinity Stones creation, I mean, they're powerful enough to like withstand one, to like hold on one timeline. If you take one Infinity Stone out, it creates like a whole other dark path, and continuously doing so will also create like branches of the different reality that may end up right or wrong, or unknown, whatever. And that's from like their perspective. But from a scientific perspective, yeah, we could take them out and they'll split up. But if we also take them after we're done using it and we put them back, everything's supposed to go back to normal as if nothing happened. And ooh, time travel is a bitch,
Yeah,
man.
it sure is,
Holy
bro.
crap!
This got me thinking about Flashpoint. It was just, oh man.
But
very,
Flashpoint, the thing about Flashpoint, it kind of talks about, because what it happens now we're talking all this
Yeah,
shit.
I know.
But when Flash did it, right, he actually legit destroyed the timeline and made multiple timelines. Because what he did. So what he did was accurate. What they did is like, hey, listen, look, it's gonna happen. Look, it's gonna make some timeline, but when we bring it back, it's fixed.
Everything was
Huh?
Everything is fixed, but it doesn't affect what happens now. Like what?
It's
What?
like everything will work out in the end.
Huh?
It's like,
I'm like, no. What?
That's not how time works. Okay, whatever. Let's continue with the movie.
Man. Please, you got anything to add so far?
No, I didn't like the way they explained time, because to me it was like it didn't really make sense. But like I think maybe because again,
You know what it is? Not to cut you off, but what it is they try to simplify it so people be like, oh, okay. So they go in and grab.
Yeah, that's natural, but like it's still time.
Yeah, I know.
People with brains will be like, that's not how that fucking works, bro. and they will nitpick the shit out of it like we're doing right now.
Because I've watched some videos. So I was trying to understand like how the time thing works.
Did it help? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure. Like you said, my understanding is you got the time stones in that timeline. But if you take it out, it creates like other little timelines. But if you put it back in, everything
at the right time,
it destroys all the other ones because the stones are now back to where they're supposed to be. But because you took them out, something bad happened and the stones weren't there to help out. Is that kind of like how? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't even know, bro. That is one of the plot points that's going to like connect all the other plot points throughout the rest of the movie. So let's continue on. So that's their mission. Because like Iron Man and Ant-Man sort of fucked up with trying to get the Tesseract. So from there, they only had like one of the Pym particles to like go back, and only one to like go back forward. But I guess from Iron Man's understanding, there's also more Pym particles in the past, also with the Tesseract that they could get as they go further back into the past.
Because Captain America knows a place where all that stuff could be.
Yeah, which was pretty much his old military base.
Well, he didn't know that. That's only when in Winter Soldier when he went to the military base where he found out where Hydra was and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So from there he's like, oh, that's where Tesseract is. Let's go, my boy.
Let's go.
Wanna meet what's her name from Drake and Josh?
Yeah, what's her name? The lady from the store manager from the movie theaters.
Oh, freak!
Helen.
I forgot her name.
I remember her name of the TV show was Helen, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Helen. Yeah, she was so in love with Drake.
Yeah.
But didn't like Josh.
Oh man.
But anyway, they go back and it's.
Yeah, they go back. So Captain America and Iron Man goes back to.
And before that, is it the last cameo for Stan?
Yeah, it was.
I believe so.
Yeah, for we got one throwback him in the 70s. Hey, no war of peace, man. Yeah, it's Helen. That's her name.
Yeah, that's her. So they go back in time further. They go to like the old base of Shield. That's where Tony meets his dad, Howard Stark.
Got it.
Steve Rogers also sees what's your name?
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter.
Yeah, Agent Carter.
What's her name? Peggy. Also in the past, so he's like,
I forgot the dance.
Oh man, but they still succeed in their missions. Captain America was in charge of getting like more Pym particles, while Iron Man was in charge of getting the Tesseract, and they succeed. And Tony Stark meets his dad, have a heartfelt moment. He doesn't know how to react because he's meeting his dad. He's not supposed to because he's already dead, and he just talked to him. He realized that during that time he was actually going to be born, and that was like another fucking God. Are you serious? Another heartfelt scene where Tony Stark is talking to his father about his own birth. Like, what the fuck?
And now how he has a daughter.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's like, you want to say, oh, my daughter! You have a granddaughter, Dad! He's like, man, you better shut up!
And yeah, man, it was like great. It was like a nice scene, very, very sentimental. Of like seeing like him talking to his father about parenting and how his father chose to like raise Tony as a child and everything. So like, oh God, my heart. It was so nice. Go ahead.
I like that part too because like he spent his whole life thinking his dad was like terrible person, but like once he talked to him, it's like okay, maybe.
It's funny throughout the movies you see, especially the second movie, when you see him watch a video of his dad, and his dad stops for a moment, and he does a little speech, about like how you should do whatever in your plan, which kind of mirrors to what happened later on in this movie. So it's like, wow, one big circle.
Yep. Tony's arc, man. Tony's arc. So they succeed. They get the stone. They go back in the future. Hulk. I forgot about Hulk. Like, even though we did explain the whole timeline thing and the whole science of like putting it back, Hulk still like nags the source, the ancient one about like giving her the time stone. And he also mentions that that in their future when they fought Thanos, Doctor Strange just gave him the stone willingly, and that's how we got into this mess in the first place.
And she's like, what?
And she's like, hold the fuck up. Strange gave him that? this man's supposed to be like the
best
sorceress and the sort of the chosen one of all of us, and he gave the stone willingly to the man who pretty much killed half the people, including himself. Either he's an idiot, or something that happened sort of fucked everything up. Maybe I'm the reason that because she knew that what she was doing about absorbing power from Dormammu and all that stuff, and she knew about that, so she's like, maybe I'm the problem, or maybe whatever he did was the right choice. So you know what? Maybe he saw what was supposed to happen. So here, take it. Make sure you bring it back. Don't lose, please. If you lose, bruh. And then so they succeed. They go back in the future. Rocket and Thor's part. It's my least favorite, but still a bit entertaining because
That was funny.
Thor comes back to his old house. He sees his old family.
It's pretty much Thor finally getting grip with reality.
Yeah, which is
having the most unlikely character to snap him back. Hey Thor, come here! Slap! Wake up!
It wasn't even him. It was his mom.
But it was him just to understand. But then he runs away, and then he finds his mom.
I'm telling you, man, fat Thor, man. But yeah, they're. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that I'm actually happy that he met his mom because I felt like he had closure.
Yes.
Compared to in the original, the other movie, she died and he had. Yeah, it was just it. But now
she's dead. Oh, well, man, that sucks.
Yeah, and she knew he was from the future. He's like, hey, I grew up with witches. I see. I got that third eye.
Yeah.
I see.
That's all right.
But yeah, I really like that moment. I mean, he finally got the closure. He said, goodbye, Mom. I love you. And then moved on.
I really like that. It was a good closure.
I really like that part.
Yeah, it kind of lit a fire in him.
Yeah,
it did.
He didn't look like the blob of thunder anymore. He looked like the god of thunder.
That part really did make me happy. Seeing him realizing that yes, I should be who I want, be who I am, be who I want to be, and all that stuff. And so having that closure with his mother and everything, he's about to leave with Rocket, and he's like, oh, maybe just try one thing. Puts his hands out like he always does, and here comes the old friend that was broken by Helen.
Yep.
From Ragnarok.
From Ragnarok.
Mew Mew.
Mjolnir.
And the hammer. And another plot point, if this bitch took the hammer from that path, that means Thor is... I said whore. Thor is hammerless in that timeline.
There's another timeline right there.
Are you dead ass, bro? Get out of it. Shut up. I'm done with this shit, bro.
His girlfriend got knocked down, got stabbed. Hey, give me the stone.
Psycho style by Rocket Raccoon. They retrieved the reality stone. Thor got a new hammer. He got his old hammer back, and they go back to the future. And now here's where shit gets dummy complicated. So War Machine and Nebula, along with Natasha and Clint, they go into the past. I don't know.
Just call him Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. I like his name though. I just don't know how to say it. Clint. I said Clint. Clint. They go to the past to where Star-Lord found the Power Stone in that one area.
In the beginning of
the movie, pretty much.
Which is funny because you see him singing.
Which was great.
Yeah, it was.
It was just, oh my god. That part was hilarious. And Natasha and Clint went to go get the Soul Stone from a different planet. So when War Machine and Nebula is there, and we're still thinking that everything is fine because we have no technical villain anymore. It comes to our realization that that the Infinity Stones are still being hunted, so they can't be too light on their feet. And then War Machine's like, still being hunted. We gotta be careful. What do you mean? And people come after the Infinity Stone. You're like, yeah, my sister, Thanos, and me. And you're like, oh,
Cut to
shit. Cut to past 2014 Thanos, Nebula, and Gamora, where she was still alive. Gamora, why Gamora? Before she got yeeted for the Soul Stone.
Yeet.
Love you.
Daddy, no.
And so, I don't know why or how, but for some reason, when Nebula was inside when Nebula's inside of the area where Thanos is, and they're like talking about like how they're planning to like get the rest of the Infinity Stones. Sort of memories. I guess memories started mixing in to like past Nebula, and she started seeing then like War Machine talking about getting the Infinity Stones to like stop.
Which I'm like, yo, so I think we saw this in the videos, like, yo, so Gamora, and not Gamora,
Nebula.
the past Nebula and the other, they share the same Wi-Fi
password. They got the same Wi-Fi password, and they just
it just connects.
It just connects. Yep. I don't know how that works, but now Thanos is able to see through Nebula the plans from the future Avengers and how they are planning to like stop everything that Thanos have yet to do in the future. And Thanos is just like, hold up, get all the information from her secretary or whatever, and we'll retrieve and watch it. I want to see everything. And they sort of cut from there. We go to, I guess we'll just go to Natasha and Clint, where they go to get the Soul Stone, realizing that they have to like, one of them have to like sacrifice themselves.
A soul for a soul.
Yep, they have to sacrifice themselves for the Soul
And they're
Stone.
like, man, what? They look at each other like, what? The only way.
Yeah, and they both try to like off each other.
But no, it's funny because it's like, this is a part where like, man, it was supposed to be somewhat like an emotional scene. Mm-hmm. It turns out to be like some cartoon, like, I'm gonna die! No, I'm gonna die! And they start fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like the first Avengers.
You know what I thought? I thought like if Nebula told him that situation beforehand, maybe they could become prepared, get a villain, hide somewhere, all right? Bring him with him.
No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Yeet him in there.
You can't yeet somebody you don't like. You gotta yeet something. You gotta yeet somebody. I mean, grab your puppy that you love.
John Wick would never.
Can you imagine?
Oh, well, he was solo Thanos right then and there.
Yeah, you would. Khalil, what about you? What you think so far?
Oh man, I feel so bad for Natasha. I was like, damn. No Auntie Nat.
No
Auntie Nat. It bothered me so much because like it happened so quickly. Like I didn't expect it. It was like, I mean, I guess for Clint, I understand why he would want to take her place because he did so many bad things.
But even though we didn't see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Remember in like the first Avengers, she's like, I want to wipe that red off my ledger. I guess this was her sacrifice.
Wipe it off? She wiped herself off?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess.
Terrible. She got Gamora, bro.
Yeah, she did, and I guess
She Gamora herself.
She Gamora herself.
I'm sorry, man. I guess Hulk can't smash.
Wow. How do you know? How do you know? It's been 5 years later.
Hey, man.
Come on, man.
How come he's that chill, bro?
I don't know. He's too chill. Even when he got angry when he found out, he still chill.
I'm telling you, man. Damn. But yeah, they didn't touch her dirty. Like we didn't really get like a sort of more
funeral for it?
Not even
like a resolution.
Yeah, I guess, but I guess that's the whole surprise part. Like nothing is like really expected. Like there's no like ease into her death. It just sort of happened, just like with Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost like Gamora, but I guess that's what makes it strong because we never really expected it, and it has to be right there and now. There's no point of like stopping, going back, and talking about like, hey, let's talk about this. Someone has to make the sacrifice to get the Soul Stone. It has to be now. We have to save everyone. That's the plan. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, Natasha dies. Clint gets the Soul Stone, and he's just.
He goes back to the water scene, like, what?
Yeah, it's just. And she goes, Natasha. And then finally we hit up War Machine and Nebula.
Knock them out, knock Quill out.
Yep. After he sings his intro song from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, they find like the little ball that it was in. Nebula just uses her metallical arm that she attained from losing something bad from Gamora, grabs the ball, opens it up. Well, not opens it up, he just has it. give it to War Machine, and they prepare to like go back to the future. But because of the whatever second
their Wi-Fi connection,
whatever Wi-Fi connection that's going on over there, it sort of fucks with Nebula. She like War Machine has already left before she even clicks hers, so she didn't return to the future. She realizes that Thanos is coming. She goes back to the ship. She tries to call in Nat and Clint about Thanos and his comings.
and he
Thanos
comes in.
just beams up. Come on up.
Come on up, daughter. I love you.
I love you. And then even then, Thanos is just like looking through all of Nebula's memories, seeing how he succeeded, seeing how they fought each other, seeing everything that happens and how his death comes through. How they just like fucking slice his head off. And that's a Thanos surprise. He's like, all right, I won. I guess I won. Yeah. There's no denying it now. I become who I am.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Winner.
Yeah. And not even that. They're clicking the stones for me. All I got to do
is go back and beat their asses again.
I can just get it from them because apparently I'm powerful enough to do that, and then win again. Simple as that.
How you like it? How you like it, team? Everybody's like, yeah, let's do it.
And Nebula is, and the past Nebula, 2014 Nebula, is willing to go in incognito by taking like the plate from the future Nebula, and putting it on herself so she could look like the future Nebula, and going back with them to pretty much bring Thanos back to their time so they could take the Infinity Stone for herself and give it to Thanos. But the future Nebula is with past Gamora, and she is like pretty much conversating with her, talking about how their pasts were their past and what's going on with their future together and how they became sisters in the future. And that sort of ends like the whole mission of just getting the Infinity Stones.
And boy, they went in and they put, the plan was working.
It was everything was right until that Wi-Fi signal just came, fucking everything up.
Went into the DMs, to Dan's DMs,
wrong
the
number.
dad,
Who that?
like the dad finds out like the daughter's doing some
Shady
nude
shit.
pictures on Instagram. Like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah, we need to talk.
Hey, Nebula, we need to talk. What is this? What is this, girl? Give my. You better go back.
And then finally we enter the conclusion, where the mission is what?
And finally they got to the conclusion, but when the mission is a success, air quotes.
Air quotes. So they all come back in the same circle. Everyone succeeded in their mission, but they realize that Natasha is no longer with them, and they sort of mourn. They sort of have this moment where they mourn for her, and this is what sort of got me a little bit pissed. Not pissed, but like sort of maddish at Thor, because like even though everyone is mourning for her, and they know that the souls, like they completed their mission, Thor is like, what y'all crying over, man? We got the Infinity Stone. We can just bring everyone back. And I understand his, sort of naiveness, sort of, but like it's not that easy. Like, yeah, it's not like a Dragon Ball where, Goku died again, but we won. All we gotta do is make the 7 Dragon Balls and bring him back to life. Okay. No, it's not like that. It's just, the Infinity Stone, like, they're just trying to bring back everyone Thanos killed. But I mean, she said like the Infinity Stone like way beyond their own power. So trying to bring back Natasha with it, it's like
Natasha
really hard.
is the stone.
Pretty much. You can't just bring back a stone, and it just makes it a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
So I guess I can understand like Thor not understanding it that much, but still, you should know the gratification, but the powers of the stones. Like you've talked about it in your past movies on how powerful they were. Yeah. So just like putting it past by like, it's nothing, we just bring her back to life. Like it's the goddamn Dragon Balls. It's not like that. So I was just hoping that he would like at least like show a little bit more emotion in that scene.
But he kind of did afterwards.
Yeah, but like this is the woman that fought along you during the first Avenger. You guys been through that so much turmoil, and that's all you got to say. Captain America was crying. Iron Man was like he was just in distraught. Hulk fucking yeeted a bench. across the goddamn screen. Clint was just crying because that's his best
I
friend.
mean,
and Hulk
but
is over here like, hey, y'all, we just bring it back, right? Come on, man.
It's sad Thor, man. He's sad Thor.
Fat Thor.
He's but you know, he's been sleeping, drinking most of the time, so
He's kind of like disconnected at this point.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. I wish it was just more grounded a little bit at least.
man, he needs to stop being that tummy Tom.
Oh man. And then so we're into the climax. All the Infinity Stones are good, are collected.
They put them
Iron
together.
Man makes the gloves for it.
Makes an awesome new glove.
Yep.
Anybody could wear it. It starts now.
One size fits all, apparently.
That's right.
And they put the Infinity Stones in it. They know that the power of the Infinity Stone is really strong. One snap, like this one snap, it's not up to one snap just making everything sort of like destroy the gauntlet in his hands. Him just trying to destroy the stones with it almost killed him. But they already know how powerful the stones are towards, like, you know, regular people.
Yeah.
So, of all people, Thor wants to, like, you know, snap his fingers since he's a literal god. But Hulk decides that he should snap it because it's, you know, gamma radiation. So it'll be better for him to do it because he's so familiar with it.
Yeah. Because it's something that he's himself is created out of.
Yeah. So
someone, you know, like he said, like he was created.
This was his moment. So he puts on the gloves, the new Infinity Gauntlet, and he does the snap. You know, everyone's prepared though.
That was an intense moment. Like,
yeah,
all right,
like, oh,
we
the
got
snap
it.
is coming. Iron Man gets his shield out. Quinn behind him. Ant-Man put on his suit. War Machine put on his suit. Rocky got this little his shield, whatever. And it's like everybody just preparing for like the snap. Meanwhile, Nebula is putting coordinates to
Toddy
open
Papa.
up. Daddy, we're over here. So she's like pretty much opening coordinates to like have Thanos come to their future with the Pym particles that she also got. And while they snap, she opens a portal, and Thanos' ship just comes through the roof.
But before that, when Hulk snapped, like, destroys his arm.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! And then afterwards, it's like, okay, everything's kind of quiet.
Did it work?
Ant-Man walks outside, like,
he sees birds
flying, like, what?
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
And
It
then,
works.
Clint's wife
Calls.
and it's like, they're back. All right, so before we continue, what y'all so far? This entire journey so far, how y'all feel?
Exhausted.
Oh,
No, exhausted is really
it was a roller coaster right up until this point, man.
It was like, all right, so she died. Now they got the stones. They snapped. It looks good. It looks good.
I mean, Hulk's still alive, so that's
Hulk's
good.
still alive.
So, like, everything's looking good except for, you know, Nebula called for his father.
Ruining the thing.
Bruh.
Ruining the party.
Like, what I felt about that moment is that somebody should have suspected something.
I wish they could have, man.
Like, I know everybody just got back from their mission, they're thinking everything's hunky-dory.
And they want to rush things and
Yeah,
fix everything
just wanna
fast.
fix everything fast.
Like, one thing that I noticed when Nebula came back, the past Nebula came back, was that she was looking around like, somebody could have caught on that.
Like, what you doing around for?
It's like,
Or like before they got ready, they were like, "Hey Nebula, what's wrong? What are you doing?"
somebody could have mentioned that, and then something could have been prevented. Bruh. Oh man.
Should be looking like Swiper the Fox.
It's like somebody should have been keen to analyze body movements. Like, okay, you might not be the Nebula from our time. What's up with you? You know?
I'm sorry. I think at that point, I don't think they would never do that. Yo, for real though, you're different. They won't be in a moment like that.
They wouldn't. Cause like right now, they already completed the mission. Natasha's dead. They have that in their minds.
But here's the thing, though. Remember when she, like the future Nebula, went in to grab the Power Stone? Couldn't Rhodey like took a look at her arm?
Like,
She's like, okay, what happened to your arm? Why does it look like that? Is it good? Why is it good like that?
Look, that's we don't talk
boy.
about that. You don't talk about that. You don't talk about that. Everybody was in a rush.
I'm telling you. So, Kevin, what about you? Oh, you already said your piece?
No, I kind of did. It's the same thing as everybody. And waiting for the conclusion talk.
Waiting for that conclusion? Well, here it is. Here's the climax, y'all. How Endgames end. So...
Well, first we're going to start with Ant-Man, looking at the sky like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I think we did it. I think we did it, y'all.
Yeah.
And...
boom, boom, boom.
boom.
Yes.
Air raid.
Air raid.
And, bro, Thanos went ballistic on them, bro. He just bombed the entire Avengers base. Ant-Man got flown back. Everybody was getting buried. Everyone was getting hit. Oh my god, that.
Like at that moment, I thought Ant-Man died.
Bro,
everybody.
That boy had a fake point blank explosion. Whoa!
He was there. He was right there. He ate that shot.
He ate that shot like a boss, bro. And
But he shrunk.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Like,
in the last minute, he shrunk.
Like the
shit.
when we watched it the first time, I mean, I thought he died. When I looked at it the second time, I noticed, okay, he shrunk back. I was like, okay, all right, okay. So I analyzing it. I'm like, thank you, God. You don't know how you survive, okay? Thank you.
Lift your heart a little bit before it goes back down.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So everybody's just on the ground. Everybody's buried by the building, the debris, and everything. Thanos comes down. He greets his daughter. He comes down. This is the most smug shit I've ever seen from this purple bitch. All right. He comes down. Because he already feels like he already won because technically he has in the future. He comes down in this future. He sits his ass down. He puts his helmet. He takes out his helmet, right?
He puts down his sword, which is
he
pretty
puts
cool.
out his sword,
and
then he goes and sit down. Nebula comes up. He's like, "I did what you did, Dad." And he's like, "All right." And so she's like, "What are you waiting for?" "I'm waiting for you to go get the get the Infinity Stone." He's like, "Oh, just go get the Infinity Stone and give it to me, and I'll just go ahead and do what I want to do with it." And then Nebula goes and fetches the stone, and that's like the most smug shit Thanos could ever do. Because like, since Thanos like went to like collecting all the stones, he did everything pretty much himself.
Yeah.
And having him be so cocky to like come down into this unknown future, sit his ass down in the debris, and tell his daughter to go get him the Infinity Gauntlet that he already won. He just sits there like swinging the little shit in his hands. I'm like, yo, fuck you, man. Like, come on. And then so everyone's like fucking confused. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Hulk is like holding up like the debris. Water is coming in. Which I also want to ask: was there a base near any water?
Yeah.
It was.
It's like a river. Yeah.
It's like a okay.
Yeah, that's why where he when Hulk eat the bench.
That's right. You're right.
The
There was
water,
like, okay, you're right. Because like.
You were confused with where the water came from?
Yes, I'm like, hold on, where's all this water? There was a lake there? What
like,
the fuck?
come on.
Yeah, there was a lake because they made
That's
made a
true.
crater.
Yeah, he did. So like all the water is like rushing into like the debris that he just created. Hulk is down there holding up the debris. War Machine is like in his boot. Rocket is being crushed by the debris. He's like yelling for help. War Machine comes out and he's like helps him out. They get together with Hulk to like stay under like from getting crushed. Ronan or Hawkeye, he still has he finds the gauntlet, he picks it up, and then he starts booking it because like Thanos' little squirmy thing from the first movie, I mean from the Infinity Stones,
Infinity War.
Infinity War came charging down looking for the Infinity Gauntlet, and Ronan's just running with it, and they're like calling out for help, like, yo, help, someone anywhere, anyone anywhere, come and help us, we're about to drown and shit. Ant-Man, he catches it, he gets up from surviving that point blank explosion, and he's like, all right guys, hang on, I'm on my way, I'm coming to help you guys. So he goes over mad dash. Captain America is like down. Iron Man walks up, get up. Iron Man's like, all right, good, you still got a chance. Here, pick this shit up. I'm not, if you lose it, I'm not finding it, I'm not giving you a new one. And Captain America is like, all right, yo, what the, like, legit, what the fuck happened? and Iron Man is like, Get up. We'll see. You'll come see for yourself.
It's
They
like-
go. They walk out. The three big boys.
Fat Thor's like, all right.
Fat Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. They walk out. They see big purple bitch sitting down, putting his little shits in his hands. And
It's about
this
to
is
go
it.
down.
This is it. It's about. Oh my! This is what we've been waiting for. Thanos' curb stomping is about to begin. So they see him, and here's like one of the more interesting part of Thanos' characters. After he's seen the message and the whole thing that happened with him, after he succeeded the first time, he realized that the little sympathy that he gave them of like, you know, having the universe, giving the others have to survive and thrive better, it's worthless because they'll still remember the past and do something about it. None of this would have happened if they just accepted their loss. But they couldn't, and they didn't. So now Thanos is back again, and this time he's going to kill everything and start anew because there's no point of destroying half of y'all for y'all to remember than to just destroy everyone and like have people who come up without remembering the old but remembering the new.
And that's when they're like, oh, well,
Okay.
suit up.
Time
Suit
to
up.
throw down.
Thor got his thing ready. He's
got-
still fat, but he's
still
ready
fat.
to fight.
He got old hammer. He got new hammer.
Hammer.
Boy is
Braided his beard, ready. Boy, ready.
So what y'all think about that whole thing, bro? Just that part right there.
Okay, of course it got me hyped.
Huh?
Hype.
Huh?
Hype. Hype. But what I didn't like was okay. I got my thoughts ready for this.
All right, let's hear it, Jacob. This is where it goes.
Okay. What I didn't like. Dang it! I have my thoughts ready. Okay, go ahead, Clea. Go ahead.
Oh, but
Oh.
Yeah, let me get
What's
it.
up? So,
I mean, yeah, when that scene came up, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to see Thanos fucking grimace go down a second time.
his ass got fired from
legit
McDonald's.
time.
It's like this is the legit endgame time, yo. Let's see what happens.
Yep, this is what we've been waiting for, man.
Anything?
No, keep
Well,
going, keep going.
All right, so we'll get back to you, Jacob.
Yeah.
So now it's about to go down, but I'm not sure if it happens during or before or after. But at the same time, it's when Ronan is running with the. He's trying trying to avoid the little monster things in that little cornered area, and he's like running with the Infinity Gauntlet.
And he shoots it, and then
He's making traps and everything.
and
like,
then Gamora and Nebula shows up.
yeah, but like
Front
after when he escapes upwards,
Yeah.
he's like on his stomach. I mean, on his back, holding Infinity Gauntlet. He sees Nebula comes in. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, here you go. He just gives it to her, or she just takes it, or he gives it to her. I forgot.
He's like, yeah, no. And he's like,
Yeah,
what?
like, huh? Hold on, what?
What's going on?
And
It's
then
like, I'm not the one you were friends with. Like, huh?
Like, oh, what? They're like, oh shit. And then the future Nebula, along with past Gamora, comes through and like, Nebula, stop. And then she points a gun at Gamora or Nebula.
No, Nebula's like trying to reason with past Nebula. And he's like, listen, look, this guy, Dad, fuck this dude. You had good, you were getting good with your sister.
Yeah.
Kind of live that, and she's like, nah,
He won't let me.
fuck you guys. And he shots her. Dead.
Like pretty much Nebula was just trying to like reason with her past self. It didn't really like she just wants her to change, but past Nebula believes that she can't change, and she tries to shoot at who? Nebula or?
No, I think she was trying to shoot at Gamora.
She was trying to shoot at Gamora, but future Nebula shot past Nebula and kills her. So now, plot hole number what? Future Nebula shot past Nebula.
But not just that, they met each other and they talked to each other.
And there's no time paradox. So
Boy.
I don't know. You shot your past self. It doesn't matter if it doesn't change the future, but if you killed your past self, you shouldn't exist because you're dead.
Unless it creates another timeline where
Oh,
she's not
no.
there. I'm just saying. When something happens, a new timeline is created.
Is that what you were mad about? The timeline?
Okay,
Oh,
sort of, and then I can't remember the thought I had before.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I didn't like was how like okay, what got me really pissed was how Thanos was thinking that he was all boss, saying that okay, first things first. I know, first time around I had the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
I killed half of the universe.
Yeah.
Made you want to get. I made you. My angle was to make you guys survive, and let it go. Move on.
Yeah.
Man, this boy was like, you know what? It wasn't personal this time around. I mean, it was all good. But now, since you guys can't let it go, all right, I'm gonna kill everybody, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I was like, I'm about to get off my seat, boy.
You better step up, my boy.
I'm about to, hey, man, here's an endgame right here. Catch these hands.
We're about to fight the screen.
So, he got me so hot.
No, you're right. Like, he did say it was gonna be personal. He was gonna enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got me mad too. Like, yo, you fuck this dude up, my guy. Oh man.
But like continuing on with Nebula, that kind of hurt my brain for a bit because it's like, come on, man. Like future Nebula, she could have did something. She kind of felt weak when she got captured by Thanos.
Yeah.
And she gonna do anything to fend for herself? Because I mean, I understand you're going against your father from the past, and he's pretty strong, and you're kind of like, you can't really handle yourself in a fight.
Yeah. But
she could have did something. I mean, it just felt way too easy for her to let the past Nebula grab her little emblem or whatever thing that's on her head so that she could sneak in and do whatever. And then now you got future Nebula actually doing something but killing her past self. You could have done something in the beginning.
That's what it is. You think it was way too easy for them for Thanos just to show up and be like, all right, hell nah, y'all ruin what I did. In the future, I'm back.
Crack.
And it does feel a little like easy, but I kind of that's the thing. Like when I think about it now, it's the reason why they did it is just so it could be just a simple way to tell it, and a simple way to move on to the next scene.
It really is a simple way, but damn, it's gonna hurt a lot of people's head for trying to like understand.
Yeah, cause a lot of people, you have to give them credit because a lot of people will read and try to make sense of that, and that's the problem with telling time machine story. Unless you do something very simple, even though it's not realistic like Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. Like, it makes sense, even though in reality, if you do go to time, you do go back in time, you can't do what Marty McFly did. Mm-hmm. But it's just something, an easier way, because you're gonna have so much action, so much fighting and drama and sadness in one take that you can't have even though the bulk of the plot be complicated. So it has to be like, okay, they did this, and then they do that, and then they do that to do this. Oh, she shot herself. Hey, watch this.
Distraction.
Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, I think that's how it is. Just don't think about it too much, but it can't.
It can't, because sometimes people, they want sort of progression, but they want things to feel resolved. And the movie, skipping ahead, but the movie kind of did it and kind of didn't. So so let's just continue with this epic fight that's about to happen.
Because it's about to come in right now.
Yeah.
So after they killed past Nebula, they start the fight. And it's there's no point of like going into details with the fight. Just know that in the midst of the fight, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor was putting in mad work. The fight scene was great. It was awesome.
It is everything you wanted.
It's everything I wanted for a finale, but it just wasn't it yet. So when the famous scene where Thor has his axe on his chest, and
you're about to kill him like in the last movie.
And then the hammer just levitates up and it smacks Thanos, and it goes back. You see my captain, hold on to my hand.
But I'm sorry to ruin that high moment for you, because it is. But I already knew, because a lot of people were like, "Who's throwing that hammer?" I'm like, "It's Captain America." Oh, here it comes, and everybody in there like, "Oh!" They're losing their shit. Clockwork, yeah. Oh, Captain,
but
my
still-
Captain.
But still, like, bro, that's
That scene.
just the idea of knowing, because from Age of Ultron, he did try to lift up Thor's hammer, and it sort of moved, but it didn't move all the way. So Captain America was worthy, but he wasn't ready yet. He wasn't ripe. But now, 5 years later, one ass whooping in a future time travel mechanic later, he comes back and he wields the hammer of justice alongside his American shield, and he starts whooping ass. He is throwing lightning bolts. He is yeeting his hammer, his shield.
Ricochet back with the hammer.
Bro, he threw his shield. He threw the hammer, made that sound with
Wombo
his
combo.
Bro.
Happy birthday, you ready, yo?
Oh my God, Clea, you want to add anything? It's like the God.
Like, I've heard supposedly that that Captain America probably already was able to lift the hammer, but he just didn't want to like hurt Thor's ego at the time.
Get out of here, bro.
But there's another theory that supposedly the reason why he couldn't lift it up the first time was because he withheld information that Bucky killed Tony's parents. And once he said it, he became worthy because
He told the truth of something that he had tainted his
pure heart.
pure of heart.
And
Because
then
he is pure of heart.
Yeah.
It is.
And after that, I think that kind of like freed him, so that's why he was able to lift up the hammer. So that's like two theories that I've heard.
I have the second one better.
The other, I have a theory. My own theory is that when Thor went back to the past, right, and he got the hammer, and when he came back, because he has two hammers, right, he can't be worthy of two, so the hammer could also pick somebody else who's worthy.
Okay, I think.
So I don't know, because Thor knows some stuff, even though he's fat and sad, but he kind of knows some things.
I mean, he said, "Oh, I knew it," so he probably knew this whole
He
time.
probably knew it when he took the hammer from the past.
Maybe.
I mean, from what I've heard, we all know like his hammer is enchanted by his father, Odin. Where the Stormbreaker, it really isn't enchanted. He kind of made it out,
That's true, but you remember in Ragnarok. Now we're going.
It's
But
fine.
remember when you remember in Ragnarok when he got destroyed, and then Thor is getting his ass kicked by Hela, and then he has his final vision with his dad, and his dad's like, "What are you? I don't have my hammer. What are you, Thor, son of hammers? You're a god. Like you don't need a hammer. You have it right there. You've always been there.
Yeah, your thunder.
Yeah. So even though it was enchanted, it doesn't necessarily mean that his power came from it, because they explain in Ragnarok that his power doesn't come from the hammer. The hammer just amplifies and whatever stuff, and it's meant to kill like creatures like Thanos.
Okay.
That's why he went and made the axe, so he could kill Thanos with it, because that's the only weapon he can't really kill him with his bare hands. So
That is true.
that's. So
Yeah.
when he took the hammer, that's what I'm saying. When he took the hammer back from the past, he knew that somebody else is worthy of it. So I guess that was like his test, and that's why. And when I watched the movie, I was like, he took the hammer with him. I was like, oh, you're gonna give it to somebody, aren't you? It was kind of obvious. You were gonna give it to somebody. I don't know who. And then when I saw Captain America grabbing it, I was like, you knew it. That's why he said, I knew you were worthy. Like, motherfucker, you knew already. You know you bought it.
Oh man, nothing but hype levels, bro.
Nothing but hype.
Oh man.
But at the same time, after giving Thanos that Alabama, Thanos came back, whooped back harder.
Yes,
And
he
he whooped him so hard that his shield broke. He even made a giant ass cut right here.
And he like tied it up
And he
by tightening his shit up.
Like,
Which is funny because that was in the trailer and you don't see it. And then
I'm telling you, them edits, man. They know how to keep the trailer from spoiler free.
Yep.
Good job, Disney. Gotta give you that at least. So then we're at that crucial moment where the heroes are pretty much tired and everything seems lost. And then to your left.
No, because you have to remember, because you didn't tell that part. It's like the crucial moment. That was like, you know what? Tired of this. Bring my army.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bring my
He
army.
brought the army
He
down.
brought the army. He brought his Dark Order and like,
He brought everyone down.
So that-
So from the point
There
it looked
you
like
go.
Captain America, Iron Man, and whoever the hell else was able to like get back up and fight versus that entire army, and you're like,
Captain
holy
Man,
shit.
in that moment, he'd say his line, but in the back of his head, like when he thought about himself, like, "Hey, I could do this all day." He's like, "I know." He's saying it again in his mind, like, "All right, let's go."
He's like, he has to win. There's no going back. And then finally, what's up, Jacob?
Oh yeah, I was gonna make a Game of Thrones reference.
Like my boy, it mirrors it.
Hey, should I say it?
Go ahead.
Kind of like when Jon Snow, he was following the White Walker. The White Walker knew where he was. He knew he was following him. Jon Snow was racing to get to him, bro.
It's like, I'm gonna fight you this time. And he's like, oh, word? Rise up.
In that moment, I was like, oh, snap.
John, you did.
Captain? You did. This is where you die, son. I'm sorry. You did good, man. You got me hyped up.
You got pretty far, my guy. Good job.
Hey, but rest in peace,
Rest in peace. We're ready for you to go, Captain.
Oh,
Captain, my Captain.
But what they did after?
To your left.
Ooh, to your left.
Huh?
To your left. Bro, I saw this movie with Jacob in my house. And man, when he says, to your left, the whole theater was quiet. Remember?
Yeah.
The whole theater was quiet. Because everybody was like, oh, snap, the hammer, oh. And then when the army came, people were like, quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, to your left, some of the people in there like, huh? And they're like, oh. I was like, oh. Okay.
And then all you see is well, go ahead.
And I went to my house, I was like,
Killer was hype.
I was getting hyped, and everybody else was quiet. They were like, oh, on your left, on your. And it's like,
heart
who?
was racing.
And then who's like, is that Falcon? And then on your left, and then the portal opened.
All you see is that yellow. And who you see come through? The king. The one and only. The Chala.
Everybody cheer for that moment.
Man,
I was feeling it.
Hey, man, I was like, Wakanda forever.
I was always Wakanda. Wakanda was me.
I will bet.
I was like, there was smoke, now they reason. They come back to attack.
I was dust.
Thanos dead. Thanos booty hole clench.
Yo, at that moment, that's when you like the whole meme's like, at that moment, that's when Thanos cuts his butt cheeks.
That boy was like, ooh. They about to whoop my ass.
For real.
All you see was one portal after another. The Wakanda army, the students from the wizard, the sorcerer place, the wizard, everybody niggas start flagging that broomstick.
Everybody's gonna be like, I got you. Yeah.
Take that, motherfucker. Everybody, bro. And then obviously when you see fucking the Guardians coming through, you see Star-Lord coming back, you're like, yo, we still mad at you, but
hey.
I'm glad you back, my boy. You see Spider-Man swinging in, like, yo.
When Spider-Man came in, boy.
I was happy, bro. And then you see Falcon coming through, you see Doctor Strange flying, you're like, we know you, nigga. We know you. I'm like really happy. Just, oh my god, just seeing everyone come back.
This was the comic book moment right
and you
here.
see Scarlet Witch coming through. Oh, I was so happy.
This is the moment where it became a real comic book movie because it became like a page from a comic book where all the heroes all fighting.
And then like have that one, you see Thanos side, you see their side, and you see them, and then I want you to take this one because I've been talking to her about this a lot. So go ahead.
Man, it was the part when the Scarlet Witch was like, you took everything away from me, and Thanos was like, I don't even know who you are. Psh, you will. You will.
Bitch, you will.
You're gonna know.
Holy shit.
You really saw her true power at that moment. Like, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that was crazy now, imagine, like, down the road.
Bruh.
Yeah, imagine her TV series.
Son, at that moment, that's when you know, like, I wish they had like a prelogue of like what happened before they came into fight. It's Doctor Strange calling everybody.
Verizon Wireless.
Hey, 5 years just passed. Let's go. It's go time.
Like, hey y'all, running from the dust. Y'all ready for that fight? Rise up.
Oh, and to see Spider-Man, talk to Tony.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yo, and that
hold
hug.
on.
Son,
I'm sorry. Before we get to that, we have
Alright.
to get to that one crucial part, which is when everyone's together. Thanos sends his army to attack, and then Captain America finally says it. He tightens up his stuff. He picks up his hammer. Everyone's lined up. He says, "Avengers, assemble!"
I've been waiting 11 years for that.
Avengers assemble.
Oh my god, and it felt so right, bro. And everyone just charged. They charged, bro, and they fought.
Son,
Some people were getting bodied.
The hype level is past you getting passed the fuck out if you keep watching.
Bro, I swear, I was about to pass out when I thought T'Challa. I was about to pass out.
You're like, you went to
My
church
God.
and like, oh,
Holy Ghost.
oh.
Take me. Oh my god. Then yeah, go ahead with Iron Man
Oh
Peter
man.
Parker.
So I'm sorry. I wasn't emotional through the whole beginning part, but man, when they hugged, I was like a Dr. Evil, and Goldman were like, oh yeah.
and I was sitting right next to Miles. So Miles like. I looked over at him and some tears, like a little.
Bro, I had a tear too, bro.
Son.
I was like, oh.
And then you had the
Our babies.
you had the whole theater saying, "Oh."
I know when they did. Oh, I'm like, shut the fuck up, alright?
But
Everybody, shut the fuck up, be quiet. We're trying to watch this movie.
yeah, this ain't no love film.
Get out of here.
But like going back to
But at the same time, we're like,
I'm bringing up the tears.
cause they finally back, my boys. They finally back. But going back to the Avengers Assemble line, I had goosebumps, man. Goosebumps upon goosebumps upon goosebumps. I felt chills. I was like, bruh.
It was Thanos' ass was going stretched.
and by the way, Ant-Man was huge at that fight. I was like,
That
yeah.
was awesome too. All you saw was the ground raise up. You just knew Ant-Man coming through. Giant Man comes through. Hulk just jumps out. War Machine, Rocket together. Ronan comes out too with the Infinity Gauntlet. Gamora. Oh my god, man! And then Ant-Man just charges up and he just knocks one of them in.
Bro, the
He
ship.
just socks one of them in the face, bro.
Oh man.
Oh, the flying.
Everybody got their moment when they in that
Oh
fight.
hell yeah, they did. They really did, and it was a great fight. And then go ahead.
But one thing I didn't like I mentioned before, is when Doctor Strange, like the little water spout thing that he was doing.
Aw.
First of all, I was hoping that he was gonna have like this incredible moment, but it didn't happen. I thought he was gonna throw all that stuff to Thanos. It didn't happen, and I'm like, bro, I've been waiting like a year and like 3 hours.
Nah, they already gave him his moment in the
A
last
year and 3
movie.
hours.
They gave his moment to the last movie.
Yeah,
Oh
'cause,
shit.
like when Ebony Maw sent that water to probably land on everyone and Doctor Strange went to stop it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, come on, man. You could just take that thing out and just join the fight.
I know, right?
Take care of major
Holding back the strong characters, man.
Dang
I'm
it,
telling
man.
you.
Nerfing.
Yeah,
them.
that
Nerfing
was
them
yeah.
That was sort of a downside. I mean, yeah, it was a cool fight regardless, but I wanted to see Doctor Strange really use his magic and all right, Thanos, you got the upper hand on us. We got the army now. I'm gonna show you what I got. just do some crazy shit.
Because he's super powerful.
He
we
really
saw
is.
just a glimpse of it in Infinity War, but here it was just like. Ding.
He turned a black hole into butterflies.
You know what?
Exactly.
You know what it is? I think they ran out of the budget.
Yeah.
that too much CGI, man. We can't do it.
Get out of here.
Overload with Doctor Strange turning the universe around.
And then now they're like pretty much like trying to figure out like how to like.
But for that, Juan is like, "What? You want more portals?"
Oh,
They
yeah.
were coming in like, "What? You want more portals?" Come on, man.
Yeah, they was trying to like pretty much figure out like what were they trying to like how to go back in time or something?
Oh, no, so after they did the snap, and this is I think most people forgot. After they did the snap, and this is the part where it kind of the plot kind of the action outweighs the plot. That's what happened. So after the snap by Hulk tells them, "Hey guys, we gotta take him back because if not, it paradox."
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. That's what.
And
that was
so-
the goal.
So what happens is that they have to get the stones and they have to go back in time, but they don't have the
pin particles. that
particles
go back.
because he destroyed the whole Avengers base. And
And
so,
that's-
but he said, but Ant-Man was like, "Wait, my van, it's still alive. We could go through there." And they're like, "All right, now and so it became a game of fetch,
Yep.
trying to catch the stones,
Yep. So
take it back in time."
So Hawkeye's just passing it to T'Challa. T'Challa takes it. He's running. He's booking it
He
with
got
it.
slicing,
He gets- Bruh. He gets,
superhero landing.
Hell, yeah,
After
was
other
jumping purple.
superhero landing after another superhero landing after another superhero landing. Get
It
out.
was beautiful. And then they just jumped him, or Thanos just I don't know. I think they jumped him, and he had the glove still. And then Spider-Man comes in. He just takes it.
Yeah, because
Starts
then Drax
swinging
came
around.
and he finally gets some 1-2
Yep.
on
Against Thanos.
Thanos, stabbing in the back.
Mhm.
Ah, bitch, get off of me!
Like we were in prison. Stabbing in the back.
And everybody's fighting and everything. Oh man, it was so good. So he's just swinging around. He's just trying to get the gauntlet back into the time machine.
And then they gave it to Spider-Man. That's when Spider-Man. So, but before all that, because I think we're skipping, because at that point, before the whole battle, they were fighting amongst each other in Scarlet Witch cave. And it's like,
just
yo,
did everything with
revenge
Vision said.
time!
For taking Vision from me.
Taking vision from me.
And then fucking
That fight. She almost killed them.
everything that Clea just said. Powerful. She would have strangled. She would have turned Thanos into his own asshole if she could.
Yes, he would. That she would.
But then Thanos was like so scared. He was like,
Oh,
"Oh
no! Call airstrike support!
Help me.
He became a Call of Duty player. Call airstrike, please!
no!" And Stark comes down, knocks her out. He gets back
And
up.
then multiple airstrikes until we saw the one flash of lightning finally took a goddamn time.
Exactly, bro.
Captain Marvel,
I'm
hey!
not gonna lie to you. Captain Marvel's part in this movie. I'm not saying that. It's not because I don't.
That
like
moment
her.
was cool.
It was it was cool, and the parts where she was in it was cool. But like, god damn, you got me waiting 2 hours plus just for me to see her fight. Come on, man.
2 hours is just, hey! No, get out of here.
Not
Get
enough,
out of here.
I'm
We got
sorry.
a real fight, real
Not enough.
issues.
But yeah, Captain Marvel makes her appearance. She comes down. She destroys the airship that was doing the bombardment on them, and then she comes down to Peter. To
No,
help.
not yet. Because after that, she went in and she continued fighting. Or no, she actually mentioned. I don't know.
I don't
We
know.
gotta
I
watch this
forgot.
movie
I gotta watch
again.
it again.
But before that, it was Spider-Man just going around getting knocked the fuck out,
Yeah.
left and right, because he has the stones with him.
And then he finally went on, like, Valkyrie kind of helped him out to dodge all the airstrikes. You remember that part? When she was up in the air?
But I thought that was like after they all the women's got together.
No. She was still flying with the.
Oh, okay.
And then Valkyrie's. Remember, because Valkyrie saved Peter.
You're
Peter's
right.
like, hey, oh,
You're like, I got
hey,
this.
my name is Peter. Say Spider-Man, what the hell, man? Stop using your real
And
name.
he's just starstruck with all the cool things that's going around from
yeah.
I guess.
He's like, oh wow,
He's so
oh,
innocent.
cool. And then that's when we got Captain Marvel coming in, because after that he got knocked out of Valkyrie, and then he falls on the floor, and that's when Captain Marvel comes in like, hey Peter,
You got something for me?
you
Yeah,
sound
it's
like
hey Peter, you got something for me? Like,
I'm
it's
like,
cute.
I
Yeah,
love you.
but like at the same time, not the right time, Captain Marvel.
I don't know. I feel like that's the wrong type of tone. Like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, I know, right? We're
Step
about to
in and
die,
Spider-Man
man.
DMs.
We're dead as about to die right now. You trying to hit on this boy? Come on, man.
And then that's when we got the famous moment where Pepper Potts came in flying. Like, what? She's
Bro.
Iron Man?
Look. That part was so hyped for me seeing Iron Man and Pepper Potts together side by
Oh,
side.
yeah?
Like, yo, like, bro. And then also that moment where, like, when she's always like, "Oh, are you gonna need help? You're gonna be alone?" Like, no, she's not gonna be alone. And then all the women MCU comes together. You got Gamora, Nebula,
There you go.
Mantis.
Yes, girl moment.
You got the yes.
Valkyrie with her
Valkyrie with
Pegasus.
her everything. And then you see what's her name? The Wasp.
Wasp, yeah.
Yeah, then she just flies out. She comes up, pull out the glove. I'm like, yo, she about to like, whoop some ass, bro. Like they were all together. They just went in and they were like putting in work, and it was so good.
Peter went out his mask and was like, It's like,
Yeah,
man,
but-
you're Spider-Man. Put your mask on. What's wrong with you, kid?
But like, I still like that moment too, just because like Peter looked beat up.
yeah.
You know that was a war. Peter looked beat up. He looked
He
tired.
put the insta kill mode. When you
Yeah.
got-
Ooh.
Got all those people.
Like insta kill. Wah. You are now dead.
It became Overwatch.
Oh,
Quadruple kill.
oh, it was great. And then everybody fight. Captain Marvel got managed to like get the Infinity Stone. Get the Gauntlet, or I think Thanos. I forgot what happened. Eventually, Thanos got the gauntlets.
So what happens is that everybody, like, so she got the thing, right? Captain Marvel got the gauntlet, and all the women came, and they all went bombarding on him.
Yeah.
And remember, he had the sword, and he just
Because
spin your Rooney with that shit. You know,
I mean, he was
Sign.
holding his own, but then you got Captain Marvel charging straight to go to the van. Because, remember before
yeah,
that,
because they're trying to
Yeah,
go
that's
back to
right,
time.
yeah, because before that, Ant-Man, he was trying to fix it up, like hotwire the van to get it started.
Yeah, him and Wasp. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, she's just charging straight to the van, and then when she finally gets close to it, to return the stones back to the van.
Thanos just went boom. What now, bitches?
He picked up
Oh,
that
you
glove.
thought you won.
Boy, he was
Thought you
bitch.
won.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pick up the gloves.
Thank you for that. Click, click,
Put
click,
it
click.
on. About to snap. You break your fingers real quick, boy. Some Marvel got that man his fingers. About to fucking break it.
Everybody just went to his fingers.
And trying to keep him from snapping. And then
So he was fighting. I forgot who was fighting before Captain Marvel. Was it Captain Marvel first or?
I think it was just I don't remember.
No, it was Captain America. No, it was either Captain America or Iron Man. After he blew it up, he was fighting with somebody and he like knocked him out, right? And then afterwards, that's what Captain
It
Marvel.
was Captain America because he
Because he hit him with the hammer.
punched him in the chest.
Yeah,
God damn, that must have hurt, bro.
because he was about to snap and he's like, hit him hard, right? And then he knocked him out. He made him fly. And then when he about to punch again, that's when Captain Marvel came and it stopped him one-handed, right? And he's like, what? And he tried to overpower her, and then she's like, powering him back.
Yeah, he punched her in the head, and she just took
No,
that.
yeah.
He headbutted her,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
just gave like that look, like
Like, you sure you want to do that, bro?
that didn't hurt me.
Want to try again? 25 cents.
And he was like, okay, that's all right. And no, because it's funny, because like that was like, oh, okay. He grabs the power stone one-handed like a G, and just punch her in the eye, and that was it. Knock her out for the rest of the fight.
Bruh. And then he just
he puts it back on, like calmly, clink.
Yeah.
All right,
get that power.
I
back
won
up.
again. Let's go.
And then
Because the thing is, Iron Man charges into.
And then Iron Man charges in. He knocks him out. Knocks his hand out. I mean, I gotta.
no,
watch
he
it.
didn't. He okay. A little bit before that, Iron Man also had a scene with Doctor Strange while he was holding up the portal.
Yeah.
And he was like, Strange, are you sure this is the part where we win? And he just looking at him, and he just put out that one finger, saying that this is the one universe where we actually win.
Yeah, because
but he can't tell him because then it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But Iron Man knows what it was, so then he goes to. But before Thanos tries to snap the second
He
time,
went in.
he goes in. He just debows all the Infinity Stones.
Snatch everything.
Like yoink, swiping no swiping, motherfucker.
And you're like, oh, here we go. Like, and he's like, get off of me, man. And then, nothing. Like, what?
What?
Oh, and everybody in the
Like,
theater.
oh,
Yeah.
hell, bitch. And then
Iron
Man, you see Iron Man with it. He's like
I got it. And he's like, I
am Iron Man.
Snap.
Destroys Thanos' entire army. Everyone turns to dust.
Music stops.
Music stops. All you hear is
Yeah.
the ashes of the fallen. Then you see Thanos just walking slowly.
Thanos such a G's like.
Oh right, he just walks.
He sits and he's like,
just, wow, I lost. Damn.
He doesn't say it. He's like,
Yeah, he doesn't, but like he knows, like in his head,
mm.
I lost. He knew he got too cocky, bro. And then our boy turned to soot. Thanos is no more. But at the same time, we lost one.
Boy, Mr. Stark, we won.
Stark, we won.
Mr. Stark, we won.
That boy was out, man.
That boy was like.
That was heart wrenching. It was terrible.
That phase that.
And the worst
Tony
part.
Stark did.
And the worst part is, like, when he died, it wasn't even like a, hey kiddo, we did good. I'm gonna leave you now. Ugh. It was like a legit him struggling to like at least stay awake for as long as he could before he passed on. He barely even talked when Peter came down talking about something. Hey, Mr. Stark, we won. And he couldn't even talk. He was just trying to keep himself alive until Pepper came in, gave him a little talk to like ease him in, and they told him like, all right,
we'll be all
you
right.
You did good. You did everything you did. You mean and your daughter's gonna be all right. You can go to sleep. You can rest now. You did your job. You're done being a hero. Go to sleep now. And he just
again, and we'll go back to
bro, that shit hurt. Clea?
Oh man, that part I was like, poor guy.
Just,
but here's the thing. His death doesn't surprise me because he kind of started the MCU in a way, and then he kind of ends it, and it kind of like, to me, I think
it was like expected,
yeah.
but you wasn't sure how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, because like even in the first movie, like when he survived like the whole like torture, like in the, you know, he was in the cave, the torture, the thing with Jess, he's like, hey, I know that I have a bigger purpose. Endgames. Here's my purpose.
I mean, they didn't say it.
They didn't say it,
but
yeah.
Hinting, yeah.
But now, like when you look back, it's like, oh, is this what he was kind of foreshadowing in a way?
That was a long ass foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, that's just the way I see it. Like maybe it was kind of foreshadowing, like little hints here and there, but like it's not surprising that he passed away. I felt like it was kind of like a hero's journey done. You know?
Yeah, but like, to me, in that moment, when I go, it's only that moment when he's like, Mr. Stark, I'm like,
stop it, boy.
Shut up, kid.
It was still, man.
He lost his uncle. Now he lost his other father figure.
Yeah.
And that's like the worst part.
But hey.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Pete Tony Stark. But man, that was quick.
That was great.
That was like, man, that's how you ended? Just like that. Snap. I am Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Boy.
Thanos is just gone. And then from then on, that's it.
Everybody hold hands. They heal each other back.
Everybody comes back, but we also lost a lot. We lost Iron Man, Vision, Natasha. We also lost Gamora.
Well,
past Nebula.
Well, Gamora, future Gamora, but not past Gamora.
Yeah, we lost future Gamora, but even though past, we'll get to that later. But
yeah.
We also lost Quicksilver, and I think that's it. All the heroes that we lost. Like
previous
Avengers.
films.
Yeah, from previous films.
Yeah.
And that was all. Oh, and Yondu.
Oh yeah.
We also lost Yondu. So those are the past heroes that will never come back. And yeah, that's the movie. The movie ends with everybody pretty much coming together.
Kumbaya bit.
Yeah, and just moving forward without Tony Stark and Iron Man. Really sad moment. Really great scene.
That scene with the daughter and Happy. Like, what do you want?
I didn't like that scene that much. I didn't like that scene that much only because it felt a little bit forced, and the girl wasn't really acting that well. Like,
but she's a little
yes,
girl.
I know.
She's a little.
That's
girl.
true. But I put hamburgers.
Come on, but that's a reference from the first Iron Man.
I know, but still, it's but like, how you gonna be like, I want hamburgers in your dad's funeral?
They don't understand.
Like,
Most kids are that.
No,
Most kids are like that. Come on.
It's just,
come
I don't know. I was hoping for her acting to be a little bit.
You want her to be like, no, I want my father back. You can't do this to me.
Right,
you want
right.
that?
You're right.
Like you want to.
I don't know. I guess I want to stay a little bit more sad and mourn.
You want?
I didn't want a cute moment.
Such a sad.
I didn't want a cute moment.
No. I'm kind of guessing what he wants. He wants that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood moment where Roy Mustang's friend died, and you got the little.
Oh, like Nina? Like, where's Daddy? Daddy has to go to work. Daddy has
I think so.
You want that moment? You sick man. You're a sick man.
But it was so well done, though. It was great. It was a great moment, just for that part. But I did sort of want that. A little bit.
Want like, but
just
Daddy,
want to hurt more.
Daddy
I want to hurt more.
Save the world. He's Iron Man.
I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. I wanted more feels. I don't know.
You already got too many feels. Well,
I don't know.
How many feels?
Something's wrong with me, man.
It's like you want more feels, and then you get depressed, and you're like, dang.
I wish I didn't watch this movie. That's what people want. People wish they didn't watch this movie because they got depressed.
Snap me out of existence.
Please do. Thanos, come back. Like, I actually felt that way. I was like, man, I shouldn't have watched this. Let me be one of those clueless theater goers
that never went.
Who never went. You know, I'll watch a different film, like, you know, some sappy, stupid film.
But you're good with Infinity War.
Yeah, I'm good with Infinity War. That's good. But Endgame, man,
too much.
It's too much, bro.
Too much for a conclusion.
Like,
yeah.
Like, bro, I wanted to give up. I didn't want to go to work at all. I was like,
I think nobody want to go to work or nothing.
Let me tell you, when I went home that day after I watched Endgame, I turned on the TV, Civil War. I'm like, can you not?
Can you not play Marvel films on me?
Not only that, but the next day, because like it didn't really sink to me that the movie actually happened, and like this is actually canon now. And like the next day, I woke up and I was like, damn, I actually saw this movie. This is canon. I'm sad. What is this?
Absolute denial, bro.
This didn't happen.
Oh yeah, and continuing on, I was like, okay, what am I gonna watch now? After I just saw something so hype and so.
I know, right? What we gonna watch?
It's like
I love Spider-Man, but damn Spider-Man, I can't watch you.
I can't. I really feel like I can't watch. I'm gonna hurt a lot.
The only movie that I can literally watch without have like being sad is probably Doctor Strange, because there's no other like character, like there's no any other character that is inside directly in the movie.
It's this origin story.
Exactly. So that's probably the only one that I can watch, because the other ones is like, man, it's too
safely. That's all you
Let me wait 11 more years until I can watch this.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I get what you mean. I didn't want to do nothing, bro. I didn't want to draw. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to animate. I was like, God, take me now. Please, cause
you're ending your journey right here.
Cause like honestly,
damn Iron Man. Okay.
Because honestly, there's nothing that could come close to that.
There's no event. We just witnessed something.
Yeah, that's a historical event right there.
We just witnessed something because we weren't born when the original. We talked about this, the original Star Wars, so we never felt that hypeness of a movie, and plus that hypeness wasn't really shared with people. But this was like shared. Like everybody liked superhero movies.
This was huge.
So everybody were already following this ride.
Yeah.
So when this movie hit,
we all felt it.
Everybody felt it. Not just the comic book nerds, but your mama too.
Yeah.
Mama too's crying like, what? I can't believe this.
It's like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Sweet Jesus.
Jesus. Oh, what a wonderful film! Like as much as we had like so many dislikes in it, like it still came out as probably.
But we haven't discussed the crucial ending part after the funeral.
Oh, that's right. So after the funeral, Captain America is tasked to take the Infinity Stones and put them back in their place.
Which is kind of like, you're supposed to do that already. Why are you doing it now?
Whoa, I mean,
well, I
settled,
understand
so
they're trying, they're doing a funeral.
It's just not just that. It's just like everything is settled. There's nothing really coming to them anymore.
Yeah.
Even though they should be cautious, but I mean, it is the Infinity Stones after all. It's like the world's most powerful weapon, or the galaxy's most universe's most powerful weapon. They should be more cautious, but I get, they should have done it like way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I remember, we gotta go. But yeah, so our Captain America is like pretty much tasked with delivering the Infinity Stones back to their time and where they're supposed to be by himself. And he goes off, and he's supposed to come back in 10 seconds, according to Professor Hulk.
Or 5 seconds.
Or 5 seconds. Yeah. And so the 5 seconds pass, he doesn't come back. And
5 seconds, he will be 5 seconds, but he could take as long as
he can take as long as he wants. And Bucky, along with Sam, is there with him. And the 5 seconds pass, he doesn't show up. They're like, what the hell's going on? Captain America, where you are? Bucky's pretty calm. He turns back, he sees the bench. He sees an old man standing there. Yo, Sam. Go to him. What do you know? It was Captain, my captain.
Hey, kid, how's it going?
And he is old. Pretty much Captain America stayed back in his time to live his life the way he wanted to, and what Tony told him to get a long time ago. And so he just stays. After he delivers the stones, he stays with Peggy. He lives his life. He gets married according to the ring in his hands, and he passes down the shield to Sam.
Hey.
And now he is a new Captain America.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from other people that Bucky was to be like the next Captain America.
Yeah, because he has the superhero serum on him.
But also, I've heard that Sam also becomes Captain America too. So whatever the choice they made, I'm just happy that Captain America's legend still lives on.
I think he's a good pick because it's following sort of like in the comics, but it's kind of more accurate since he's the one that helped Cap, find Bucky, and all that stuff from Winter Soldier to Civil War. So it makes sense for him to give it to him. The only thing that doesn't make sense is the time stuff. With him,
another one like he stayed back in time.
He went back in time and he got Peggy. Well, Peggy already had a granddaughter, and you met her in Civil War. It was the Winter Soldier. My bad. And then you went to a funeral.
Okay. What I got from it when he picked up the hammer, he brought it back to the timeline where it was supposed to be with Thor and that place. Before it got destroyed. Also, what I didn't what I did notice was that while future Captain America is living his life with past Peggy and changing the timeline, you got past Captain America still frozen in the ice. So you got future Captain America.
And that's what I was talking about when me and him were.
It's like a time loop with him, because you have the frozen Captain America, and the other Captain America comes in. Lives his life. The frozen one comes in, goes through all the battles and all that stuff.
But there's no battles to be won because they're already dead.
But it's another timeline, right? Wouldn't it be?
According to Marvel, there's only one timeline.
What I'm saying.
But that's the confusing part, because I remember talking to you about this, that even though he's in there, that means there's still Cap who's frozen in ice. But even though he could come back. Because there's another frozen Cap, but that won't work, because they will find Cap like in the other movies, so it will still so it will be still a timeline where he's doing the whole movies again, and then he still goes back in the future and goes with Peggy. But the problem is that he has a family with her. So
Okay, so you mean to tell me, future Captain America is beating her cheeks past Peggy Carter, while past Captain America is rolling their eyes, wondering, who's beating my my woman's cheeks?
yourself. Oh, my head explodes. Blah. Blah. This whole time, motherfucker, you were in the past.
This whole time, it was me who was fucking.
What? I don't know, man. That's the point where, when they really rushed that part of like, how can he be with her, because also it kind of ruins the development that he had through all of the movies.
Yeah.
That he moved on, but he didn't move on. he went back for the dance.
Clea is grasping for air. Go.
Go ahead.
Blistering fury.
I wish that he could have married, I guess, like Sharon Carter instead, like showing that he did move on and then had a dance with her.
Yes.
Or maybe somebody else and had a dance with that girl. That would have been, to me, again, that's just me, like a good like character development for him, because he moved on. He accepted that, he's a man out of water, man at a time. This is my life now. I'm just gonna move on. I would have preferred that.
But I guess since his past self is frozen, he just couldn't let it go.
Oh, you couldn't do it. You
Can
couldn't.
we sacrifice Jacob to the soul stone?
A soul for a soul for a soul.
I'm willing.
I'm
I love you, Jacob.
I love you, Jacob. Let's.
Yeet.
So you mean to tell me you're gonna do me like Rafiki did to Simba in that meme? Leave me?
It's about to happen, Gamora.
It's about to new Gamora.
You mean Jamora?
Yeah, that's right, Gamora. You better pull up tight and struggle, cause I'm gonna. And then when I snap, you better come to me in a dream and be like, is it worth it?
Was it worth it? I know, right? Was the joke worth it?
Is it worth it? And he started laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
What did it cost?
it was
What did it cost?
everything.
It was everything.
Oh, Lord. Alright, so that was Infinity Wars. Finally, our takes and how
you
we
mean
rate
Endgame?
it.
We can't rank this.
I'm sorry.
Look,
My head is
it's either with
it's Endgame.
It's Endgame. It's the end of an era of a lot of people who've been watching this for how many years now? 11 years, and
Going
this is the
down.
ending. I talked to this before. Is it a perfect film? No,
Not a perfect film.
not a perfect film.
Not even a
that's
perfect Marvel
that's the
movie.
only like critique stuff, but like the whole movie was fun.
Yes, it was.
It was fun, but it's not a perfect film. Time is not easy to write.
It's not clean either.
And it's not clean, and you kind of cheapen it a bit, but it was a fun movie, and I'm glad we, even though we regret watching it, I'm glad that we made history and we went and watched it.
Definitely.
That's history book. We will be in our rocking chairs,
Telling
and
us
our
about the
grandkids will be like, my movie, and like, I was there when they first came out.
There were tears.
It was tears. There was this old man who used to say Excelsior. Oh, he was a great man. Oh,
yeah,
and all this stuff.
and staying after the credit scene.
That hurts.
Yeah, but only to find out the Marvel logo, and you hear the sound of the clanking.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
From the first Iron Man. Cling, cling. Like, son.
What a nice send off.
Nice send up. And for the ending, they had all the original Avengers sign their name, just like in Star Trek. When they had the originals sign their names. It's pretty cool.
That was great.
Beautiful.
It was cool. It's practically what we got is our own event stories, and hopefully they recreate it and they give it to the next generation. But I'm gonna enjoy. We watched Endgames, bitch. We wanted when they came out.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So Kevin, How you? I mean, you already told us pretty much how we all felt about this movie. So how would you?
How would I rate?
How would you rate this? I give it a snap out of 10.
Give it a snap out of 10, man.
Erase it from my memory. Oh man.
Now we have to go to the back.
Oh boy, and we had something in common with Endgame because I don't know how much you're gonna edit this out.
This podcast have reached
3 hours.
Endgame timestamp.
It's a past Endgames.
You pretty much watched the whole movie for listening.
If you're listening, I'm probably gonna cut it as much as we can. I'll probably keep the whole thing. Don't worry about it. We'll
you
see.
edit some about
Yeah.
that.
We're gonna have this in. It's no edits, no cuts. Well, some, but this is gonna have this part right here.
Yeah, definitely. But Jacob, how about you? How did you rate how would you rate your experience with this movie?
Bruh, I enjoyed it from beginning to end, even though it has some flaws. It's really a snap.
It's a real snap, my boy.
Bruh, I'm telling you, that movie, I can't find any other movie like that. That's in the class of its own. It's a franchise that's done good, done some bad, but everything gluing together, everything is right where it needs to be, and c'est magnifique.
That's right. Kalia?
Same thing. You know what? This movie was amazing. I mean, it wasn't perfect. There's some things that I didn't like, but there's a lot of, good highlights that I did like as well. And, I felt like I went through a journey with all these characters because, again, it's been around for 11 years. I got invested with them. I started watching the movies when it first started, around 2010 or 11. So I started, going in. I started, getting really into it. And, yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I get to have my own Star Wars in my own generation.
Hell yeah.
And, yeah, I'm going to be definitely bright.
By the way, surpass Star Wars.
Way surpass. That's
Give
right.
me 5.
Yay.
Sorry, I gotta do that for all your Star Wars fans. I'm sorry, it's a dying franchise.
Y'all thought part man.
What do you think, Mickey?
Well, I mean, Endgame. That says a lot. Well, Star Wars, you better get that money for.
I'll give you the boot.
Before I give you the boot, and no more films.
Oh man, you heard that from Mickey.
Yeah.
That's right. We gotta get your shit together, man.
Yeah.
As for me, like I said before, there's been a lot of flaws in this movie. Time travel is not pretty to deal with in storytelling perspective, but holy crap, this movie did a lot of good. It concluded. It brought together a whole bunch of cast and characters that we loved over the years. Everyone, it was just great. It was enjoyable to watch beginning to end. It was all hype. It was all happiness. I would never regret watching this movie. And as much flaws as there is, and how much we nitpick it, I will never hate this movie at all. This movie is pretty much my everything. It may not be my childhood, but it is what's gonna be like a part of me from here on out because it's been that impactful. I'm gonna miss the old cast, Robert Downey, Chris Evans, Pratt.
But hey, never say never in comic books.
Yeah.
And heroes.
Well, to best futures for all the cast. I'm hoping for another great 11 years for Phase 4 and onwards.
I can't wait for the new Guardians in the
Guardians of the Galaxy 3
with Thor.
Fat Thor better get his shit together. I'm sorry, I just want to add one more thing. Let me tell you one thing I did not like, because the jokes in Endgame, they all hit me. They all were funny, perfect timing and everything. The one joke I did not like was the return to Star-Lord and Thor's banter, how they had an Infinity War. But this time here, when Thor just comes in oh, I'm the new captain, bitch, you better, what the hell?
He's like, no, I'm not the captain.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not the captain, you're the captain. They're just doing that whole thing again. It was still funny, but with Thor doing this after what the fuck happened back, come on, bro. You wanna lead them? You wanna lead the Guardians of the Galaxy to the third movie? You better lead yourself to a train, my boy. Get the fuck out of here. But I still love Thor though.
Yeah.
I still love
Same
Thor.
here.
I just love all the characters pretty much. So I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. Yeah. That was Endgame.
Any final?
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, Cleo.
It was an amazing movie. I don't regret watching it. This is something I'm definitely going to brag about to my grandkids
Damn
in
straight.
20, 30 years in the future. And yeah, I give it out of 10.
Two snaps.
Oh,
boy.
Phase 4.
You can do your step. Hey,
You can do it all by yourself.
Let me see you do. Hey, but did we turn into dust yet?
No, but we're about to be with this last thing.
That's right. Real quick.
Quick fire.
Quick fire,
After
dumpster fire.
a 3-hour podcast.
You get one quick fire, y'all. And that's static.
Because we can't
We can't let it go, bro.
We can't let it go.
That shit looks
We can't
terrible.
let it go. It's
Yeah.
terrible
It looks-
trailer and a terrible creature. And who made this trailer? Gangster Paradise. Gangster what?
Nah, you know,
Nah, get outta here.
you know who created that creature?
Who created that creature?
Marissa Bell. She
What?
wasn't even here.
She
Yeah.
conjured up
She
this.
conjured it up. She sacrificed a real hedgehog.
To make this
That poor
abomination.
thing and like a little person.
What have you
And
done?
like what the hell is monstrosity you created? Those legs. Oh. Those arms. Oh.
Yuck.
What is that?
Hashtag not my Sonic.
The one thing that bothered me a lot about the trailer is the fact that they waited until now to fix it when people have been complaining
That
for the
is
longest time.
dumb.
That's lazy. They're not
That's
fixing anything.
They're not gonna.
that movie is done.
They're gonna probably like add like one more fur on him and that's it.
They were already straight when he launched that trailer. They're already rendering this movie to complete. What a
bad.
dumpster fire this movie.
That is bad. Not even like, oh my god, like what even is the plot? Have they even played a Sonic game?
No, they just Sonic used portals. He's the new Doctor Strange. You saw that when he teleported Cyclops to his home and the trailer. And then the Riddler still is like, I'm gonna get you, Sonic.
Like, come on, bro. Oh my god.
Jim Carrey, son.
Jim Carrey is.
Look, people say,
Jim,
his
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey about to carry this.
Bruh.
People say, he's about to carry. No, he's not carrying nothing. He's beside with them in that fire mess. He's not carrying nothing in that movie.
Man, I could say,
Like, go ahead, Jacob.
yeah, I could say, man, his back must be hurting though. 'Cause that's a whole lot of weight.
Yeah, but he's not carrying that movie because, man, those jokes in those trailers. Sorry, Jim Carrey, but
Yeah, it didn't hit.
that was doo doo.
Like,
I could
Straight garbage.
like I could imagine if that was him performing the mask. Probably a little
That's-
bit with a twist on it.
That's the thing. He stopped doing this type of movies or like that type of comedy that he's doing. He stopped doing that to become a serious actor, and he even quit being an actor to become a painter. So like, man, they better pay him money for him to go back to do what he was doing in Ace Ventura. Boy.
holy crap! That, like, I don't even know like what the plot would be there though.
There's
just
no
like-
plot.
Like, cause like the way I see it is like Dr. Robotnik doesn't even know Sonic. Sonic doesn't know him, and they just pretty much like they're like it's like a birth, like the origins of their rivalry. And you know what I hate the most is that it's not even a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's whatever the fuck that guy is featuring Sonic the Hedgehog. Like the Woody Woodpecker movie and the Yogi Bear movies. Like
And
I never
Hops.
watched them. I just and Hop. Like I never watched the movie, but I've seen reviews of him, and it's always the main even Smurfs. It's the main character, the human characters featuring these cartoon characters. So it's like their plots sort of merging together. And I'm
It's
not
gonna
liking
be
that at
it's
all.
gonna be Cyclops' his life and how he's a failed person.
Yeah.
And Sonic's gonna help him
Yeah, get on the right path.
get on the right path. Because you know why? Cyclops wasn't hot too, so
Yeah.
oh
That
man.
is terrible, man. That is
I don't understand why they always have to deviate from like the source material so much. Like
there's just not much to. There's not much.
It doesn't matter, but it shouldn't be that hard. Just a regular.
Yeah, it's not hard either too.
Like if you just want to make a Sonic movie, just have another Robotnik. Like it's just
kidnapping the
just
furry animals.
Yeah, just make pretty much another video game except make it watchable.
Yeah.
So Sonic has to go save these people. Make a plot about that. How did he save them? He needs Tails' help. He probably meets Knuckles or Amy. I don't know, whatever. Find Chaos Emeralds or whatever.
That's how you make the movie. You
move to the sky, fight a giant robot, and movie. That's it. We don't need side human characters to help us progress or add character story. This is Sonic the fucking Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
We've been with him since fucking 19 whatever during the time 1980s 80s, man. I wasn't even born.
And remember we got that Sonic X show.
It was fire.
Go.
But at least he didn't look like a monster. He looked like Sonic.
God damn, y'all always ruining shit for us, man. That's why we like Marvel more, man.
I think they were doing some progression in video game movies, just a little bit.
With who?
I don't know.
Are you talking about Tomb Raider?
Is it? No.
Alright,
whatever.
Sonic movie looking ass. Whatever they try to do to fix it, probably gonna look ass too. If they prove me wrong, I'll admit that they proved me wrong. If they make it look right, but the plot in the end of the day, it's gonna look like ass. All right. So other than that, that's it. I hope we snap that movie out of existence. Thanos, do your thing.
We'll let you do it this time. But like Sonic looks like that kid from Jumanji. When he turned into that thing.
The monkey.
The ape kid?
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw a meme where they painted over him.
Yeah, I saw it too. they painted the hunter. It's another Robotnik too. Yep. Excellent. I love the internet for that.
I don't know what the animators were thinking, but
they weren't.
No.
They weren't. Six Frame Podcast, episode 17. 2 topics, 4 people, 1 great movie, and 1 terrible trailer.
That's right. Even though we were so short with the Sonic, but who cares?
Yeah, it really does.
Alright, let's end it off with the best theme ever.
Avengers theme. Alright, y'all. We'll see you in the next episode of Six Frame Podcast. Until then, just enjoy yourself and prepare for Spider-Man Far From Home.
And Game of Thrones.
And Game of Thrones too, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Woo!
And thank you for listening to another Six Frame Podcast. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more, email us at sixframepodcast@gmail.com. That is sixframepodcast@gmail.com. You can also catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. 6 Frames. Don't forget to rate and follow us on our Apple Podcasts and Podbean. And our YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to 6 Frames and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss another episode. So what are you waiting for, nerd? Subscribe, like, rate, do all that stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!